Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the stream, this time on YouTube. And I hope it works out, actually. That's the idea. So I'm just gonna check myself if everything here is working out. At least the chats are working, it seems. So that's one thing. Shows me that people are watching too, so I'm live over here. Let me just quickly check that. Yeah, it seems to be okay. I can hear myself on my own cell phone. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, well, I'm just gonna assume that it works then. So, I haven't streamed on YouTube in a while, but let me just first address why I think that I want to be streaming on YouTube currently. And the main reason is that the whole Twitch thing is just it's basically too much. There's too much stuff going on there. There's too many things that I need to worry about, and I really don't want to worry about those things. Hey, Uber Shaloof. Good to see you, man. I do see you here in the chat. There is no chat displayed on the stream, I don't think. But yeah, it's fine, right? For now. Maybe we'll make it a bit more interactive, we'll see. But yeah, man, how are you doing? How is the stream and sound quality? It should be good. I just listened to myself. That seemed to be pretty fine. So I'm assuming it's good for you too. And there's a bit of latency, I suppose, but I think streaming wise we're fine. So I was just talking about like why am I moving back to YouTube. I used to stream on YouTube quite a bit, and I actually quite enjoy it, to be honest. Like, it's much more simple. There's really not that much stuff to worry about either. I don't need to figure out raids. I don't need to figure out hosts, subscriptions, everything. Like, you can just do a super chat, I suppose, if you really want to support me, but apart from that, I'm not in it for the money here anyway, right? And so I thought, you know, sounds fine. Anthony Brown, thanks for dropping in, man. Really appreciate that. Yeah, so I thought, well, you know, let's just go back to the roots, basically. Back to YouTube. I have all my videos here, and I think it makes quite a bit of sense to just start streaming some games over here as well. And that way, hopefully, the streams and the videos that I produce can complement each other instead of people having to hop from platform to platform. Another reason is that Twitch is really hard to be discovered. Basically, everybody who discovers me on Twitch, they're coming from YouTube, and they all tell me too. Like, yeah, if they're all coming from YouTube, why don't I just stay on YouTube, right? Might as well. I'm not like looking to expand my empire in that sense. So I think we're totally fine over here. The whole setup is a lot easier too, I think. So yeah, I think I'll just try out streaming here for a while. It also means, by the way, that the schedule is pretty much gone. I had a schedule streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Twitch. And I have to say that, like, I have a full-time job and everything, so streaming with the schedule is really not necessary. And YouTube allows me to just like plan a stream whenever I want to. Everybody can see that there's like this upcoming stream, which is kind of nice, right? You're able to see it in your feed, and it just seems like a decent way of doing streaming. So the schedule is basically off, but I'll try to plan streams whenever I'm planning to stream, just like a couple of hours in advance, so you guys know that there's a stream coming up, and you can join watching. So without too much further ado, I hope this is clear. If you guys have any questions about the whole YouTube versus Twitch thing, I'll be happy to answer them, of course. But instead, we're gonna go and dive into another game that I've been playing for about 40 hours right now. I'll swap perspectives here. It's The Last Epoch. And The Last Epoch is very much like a classic action RPG. It is in early access, You can see the server or the game version over here. At least I think you can. Yeah, there you go. You can see the server version over there. So it's a beta 0.7.2. Let me just quickly lock the actual frame. And I have been really enjoying this game, like a lot. You can see I already have a level 58 character. I have a mage for no apparent reason, and I have a primalist. And I've just been trying out a bunch of builds on the last Epoch, and now what this game has, and I'll think I'll log in the meantime so you know a little bit what to expect. What this game has is what I think Path of Exile has as well. I think Diablo used to have it at least. Is like a shared chest. And the shared chest allows me to basically, I'll walk to it. Here's the shared chest. I got all these like unique items that I found during the end game and leveling of my other characters. And these unique items have sort of inspired me to create new characters again and try these items out on these new characters. And have a sort of clear idea up front of what you want to do. So there aren't really that many surprising mechanics or anything in this game so far. I'll just go over one of the items so you have a bit of an idea of what we're looking at, right? So this thing has a lot of armor, it has increased health regeneration, all fine. And the main thing is +1 maximum companions. So I have a druid. And the druid can summon a bunch of animals. So I have like a small zoo basically running around on one of my other characters. And this helmet allows you to have an additional companion, which is really good. So right now I'm playing a... what is my called? I think an acolyte. Yeah, I'm playing an acolyte. And... An acolyte, but the idea is that I'm going to go into a Lich. So a specialization here is a Lich. The character name is Mitch, so I thought that made sense. And yeah, as you level up, it's a little bit of a Grim Dawn kind of leveling system. You put more points in, and then the bar goes up and up and up over here. You unlock skills over there, you can do other things. So after you reach endgame, how do you level? With a new hero? Yeah, so it's not like Pagan Online. You just like replay with every hero, you replay the story. But it's good, it's like relatively fast as well. So there's no issues there. And I'll take you a little bit through what I'm doing now. So let me start off with the current items that I have, and I'm just starting out, like I'm level 8. But you'll see that leveling is relatively quick, so we're gonna be leveling relatively quick. So I have just a regular helmet. Arthas. Yeah, Arthas indeed, yeah. 8 health, some mana efficiency. Some stats I don't really know what they do. I think it's just a mana discount. This isn't unique. Your name should be Arthas, yeah, I suppose. Does this game seem more promising than Pagan Online? Also had like a lot of Grim Dawn. Yeah, I think it seems a lot more promising than Pagan Online. First of all, they have, I think, a lot more realistic timelines. This game is supposed to be released in April 2020, which is more than half a year from now, right? And if you see already in what like of state this game is in, I think in half a year they could improve. They have a pretty detailed roadmap, a forecast. And what I found is like the game is already a lot of fun to play, and there is an actual end game with various maps, various sort of like different things to do. There's an arena mode, there's basically a gauntlet, but then a gauntlet that is well implemented. So I'm not sure we're going to be showing some end game yet, maybe next time. But the idea is basically just to level this character. And yeah, we'll just see along the way how we do. So if we have a little bit of a look at the uniques, so you have a bit of an idea of what we're getting. This is a sword. It has increased attack speed. Every time I hit, I gain 3 wards, and then these wards have additional bonuses. So you see 1% increased elemental damage per ward, Now I don't really do elemental damage, but that's beside the point. And increase movement speed per 250 wards. So the more wards that I claim by attacking, the faster I move, which in a game like this is quite nice. So this is increased movement speeds if you've hit an enemy in the last 5 seconds. Now I'm constantly hitting enemies, so that's also good. Hey, the Stero, salutations. This is a nice ring if you have minions, and we have minions. See, I just summoned 3 skeletons, so those will work out. What else do I have in terms of uniques? Yeah, this is 2% of elemental damage leads as health. I don't really do elemental damage, but it's still a decent, you know. It's okay for a unique mage relic, but I'm not a mage, so hopefully we'll find something else. Actually, I should just put this back because it doesn't make an awful lot of sense to have this. Yeah, but this is my chest with uniques, and there's a few others, and this just encourages me basically to play other classes, because I see like, oh, I have a sword that would be really good for like a whirlwind warrior, right? And leveling is fast enough in this game that it is really reasonable to like level a character within, I don't know, 4 hours or something. Hey, Sinful Duck. I'm glad you found the way to YouTube, guys. That's promising. It's good to see you're here. Let me just turn that down a little bit. Hope I'm good too. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Today I made a little bit of the switch back to YouTube because, yeah, Twitch, you know, it's just really hard to get noticed on Twitch, and I just felt like I had to do all sorts of things because it was Twitch, like raiding, hosting, watching other people's stream, communicating, and I was like, you know what? I have a YouTube channel. There's like almost 2,000 subscriptions by now. And a lot of those people are interested in like Pagan Online or similar kind of games. Why don't I just stream over here, like, and see what happens that way? So that's sort of the idea. So that's a level up already. So my combat is basically it consists of 2 things. I curse them using this thing. And then I have sort of like this swipe ability. And this swipe ability does double damage on whoever I'm cursing. And then I have like three skeletons just because I'm like partly a necromancer. Yeah, plus you already have an audience here. Yeah, exactly. So, and what happened a lot was like this audience was all getting to Twitch. Because I said in my videos like, hey, I'm streaming on Twitch, you know. I myself don't like Twitch. YouTube's much easier to watch streams and communicate with streamers. Yeah, that could very well be true. I don't really watch many streams on YouTube, to be honest. But Twitch is just like hectic, and it seems a bit of a different community as well. So, wow, this game is very PoE looked with. I haven't played since early alpha. Yeah. They're gonna, and this is what I really like, they're gonna do a big graphics overhaul. Because if you look at like how it looks, I think there's a lot of different opinions on that, but I personally find it a little bit bland. I mean, details wise it looks pretty good, right? But it looks a bit stale, it looks a bit bland. Like, I really like the art style of Pagan Online, for example, right? Pet classes are fun. I love necromancers. Yeah. We're not gonna play a necromancer though. I mean, we're a necromancer now, and I'm sure we'll have some skeletons running around at some point. But the idea is to turn into a Lich, and do it like that. I'm a big fan of Diablo 1. This one looks good. Yeah, so the graphics update, what they're going to do is they're going to stick true to the style to some extent, but they're also going to implement a more, almost like a little bit more of a cel-shaded kind of feel. Just like with PoE it looks old. Yeah, it does look, that's totally true. So you basically have like two ways of advancing your characters. You have your passive skills, which are over here. So I'm investing into Blood Aura, for example. You and your minions deal 42% damage, and if I put it another skill point, it will be 48%. It's just 48% damage overall increase. Seems good. So we'll do that. And then you have your passives, your active skills. And here it gets very interesting. Like, this is a unique feature of this game, I feel, because in the passive ability tree here you can specialize. So we're going to specialize into a Lich and then see what we'll do. The other specialization is a Necromancer, by the way, but I already played that in a different time. But these are all passives, and they all have an impact on your skill to some extent, but they're all passive abilities, right? And if you go into the skills section, you can develop up to 5 skills depending on your level. And if I go into one of these, what you see is that each skill has its own skill tree. So you don't really have like a skill tree in, you know, Diablo or Pagan Online even, but you have skills itself which then come with like this skill tree, and you can turn a skill into doing something completely different. And you can do this 5 times, which is super interesting, I feel. So for the harvest skill, which is like my right mouse button skill, it's like this, right? This is harvest. You see the scythe if you look closely. You can just do that endlessly, basically. This is my scythe skill. So what I'm first going for is the Heroine Blade, which is a 60% chance to shred necrotic protection. This is a necrotic attack. Let's say undead damage, necrotic damage. And the first I'm going to completely shred their resistances against this type of attack, which should be good against bosses particularly. And the second skill that we're gonna do is not the skeletons. We might do that later, but not now at least. But we're gonna do the Marked for Death, because those spells really work well together. So now we can expand on the Marked for Death. And I'm not totally sure where we're going with this, to be honest. So increased curse duration. You kind of want to figure out like what you want to do with this, right? So do we want bone prisms around it? I don't know. Do we want less elemental protection for them? I don't think so. Mana efficiency, a bigger area. That's good for sure, right? A bigger area. They're chilled, which means that they just move slower. And you can fear them too. But I don't want them to fear them necessarily. Here, this is what I specifically want, right? To decrease their necrotic protection, because afterward I'm like swiping them. I miss Diablo 2 style games, so disappointed in Diablo 4 and Blizzard. Is Diablo 4 even a thing? Isn't it still like a giant meme? Is there any information out on Diablo 4? Cursed enemies take additional damage, but it gets more expensive, the skill. So these two are definitely good, and you can go up to level 20 with the skill. So thinking up front about what you want to do is definitely a good idea. So we have 10 points left. How much you paid to get into the last Epoch beta? I paid around 30 euros. 30 euros. So the funny thing is that it's cheaper at launch. I don't know why that would be a good business model, but it is the case. But still, I mean, I've already got 40 hours into this game and I'm not even slightly bored. And I think the main perk of this game is like these kind of things, right? New classes, thinking about like how can we make a class that works, and then how far can we get into the end game using this class, because the end game is brutal, right? It's really hard. So that's fun, I think. I'm just trying to understand like what... I think I'm gonna go with the increased area and then probably the mana efficiency. Diablo Immortal, yeah. But that's not Diablo 4, right? Yeah, I think we got it pretty much figured out. So we do that, those 10, then these 5, that's 15 points, and then probably some mana efficiency. They're still working on it, but I doubt it. Highly doubt it will be any good, to be honest. Nor do I want to support them. Yeah. Yeah. I totally get it, man. I'm looking forward to the build system in this game. Yeah. So now we have our 2 main skills that we're using. And they're gonna be working well together. I think they announced a mobile game last time. Yeah. Yeah, that's the Diablo Immortal part. So you get, also by doing quests, you get passive points, which is good because then you can advance your stuff a little bit faster. So what are we gonna do? I think Fatality is pretty good. When a nearby enemy, ally, or minion dies, you have 10% chance to gain 13 ward per allocated point. Yeah, and that might just be good. Some additional protection. That's basically some additional protection. Or we go for intelligence and 5 necrotic protection. Maybe do that. My spells are intelligence based anyway, so that's good. Is this a new action RPG? Yeah, to some extent. It's a game called Last Epoch, and it's in beta currently. The lower archive. Do I need to be there? Maybe. No, I don't need to be there. Yeah, so it's in early access. You can get it on Steam for around 30 euros, $35. And yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. So this is going to be like the bulk of my main gameplay here, like cursing them and then like swiping them with my scythe attack. I mean, I have a few minions to help out, but the bulk of this is going to be what I'm doing right here, right? And it seems to be working pretty well so far, I would say. Like, I'm not complaining at all. Oh, hello. And you can go through these levels and level up your characters relatively quickly. So I'm not gonna like linger around and try to do all kinds of well, I say exploration, even though that is like definitely worth it. It's definitely worth exploring in this game. Because you'll find all kinds of chests and stuff, and they contain really good items, but if you want a more like power level, which is a little bit what we're going to try, then you know, you don't want to linger in the areas for too long. You just want to basically do your quests, because they provide you with a bunch of skill points, and that is about it. So I'm picking up mostly like yellow items, because those are rare items, I think, meaning that they're just overall speaking pretty decent items. And whenever we're full or we're back to the main camp, we're just gonna do some sorting and figuring out our inventory and things like that. The only thing I'm gonna do is like get a quick energy drink, and then we're all good. Yeah, and the minions that we're having, they're really just for like show. I mean, maybe if we don't have skills at like a later stage in the game that makes sense anymore, we can also opt to like summon a huge army while we're doing this, while cursing and just going in and scything them all over the place. But right now, the minions are, you know, they're just there. They're not really doing too much. They're still doing a decent amount of damage, don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna invest in them right now, because the idea is that, like I said, we're becoming a Lich. And so far we're doing pretty well. So what happens here is we get our marked for death is leveling up. And it's leveling up because we're using it, right? And because we're just like gaining experience. And this is how you can build your character even though you don't level. So they basically decoupled leveling with skill progression, which I think is a pretty smart move, to be honest. Like, I kind of like it. And what you're seeing is that I'm going to be like having a lot of level ups during this stream, and like a lot of new items and a lot of like smaller or sometimes really big upgrades, which is super cool, of course. So this is more a chance to shred necrotic protection. So we want to like make these guys miserable against necrotic damage, right? Well, have a good night or day. I have to go to work. It will be a night for me, man. Look forward to watching more of your streams. Always looking for fun new games. Yeah, I'll definitely stream some more new fun games. It's gonna be a bit of a variety thing for the channel. But yeah, will do, man. Good luck working. And nice to have you stopping around. Yeah, and here we're just gonna go with more intelligence and necrotic protection. And because we're leveling up, these are skills that we're unlocking. So now we have unlocked a bone golem, which is another minion. So we can select the skill here. You can have up to 4 skills on the QWER, and you can have another skill on the right mouse button. So now, what? Here is another minion, the bone golem. He's sort of a tank. Like, these guys can definitely like do some work over there if they want to. But you're also gonna notice that like the skeletons are dying and stuff. I don't think they're regenerating, or like very slowly, you see. So at some point these guys are gonna die, and then we might resummon them if we notice. We might not, we'll figure it out. The bulk of my damage is not going to be, well, that, let's say. If you would specialize into the necromancer, obviously you can make these guys really strong and like summon an entire army of them. I did that before in another playthrough. It's really fun, actually. So every time you leave an area, everybody respawns, all the enemies. We need to go over here, which is not really a problem. I felt like you're hardly in the same area again. The golden ones, the added dodge rating and the glyph of stability, these are crafting items. There's also an entire crafting system, which we may get into a little bit. We'll see. Okay, I think we need to get over here. But you can see it if you look at the experience bar, for example, that I'm leveling up like relatively fast. And we can just basically burn through these levels, which we're doing. Like, there's also really not much of a reason to not do it. Hey, this is a unique item, which is pretty cool. And I found that like, I found that a lot of these items, that your unique items specifically, that they come from like these kind of insignificant chests and barrels and that kind of thing. So what do we get? This is the item that I wanted to basically. And what is this? The slab, a shield, unique, 25% block chance, health, 112 block protection, 40% reduced block chance, 100% reduced damage taken when you block. Okay. And here I have less block protection, but more dodge rating. And if I block, I dodge more. Yeah. They're both okay. And I think for now we're gonna be like using a shield, but maybe we'll at some point we'll just swap to a to like a two-hander or something. I'm not sure what's a smart move here. But so far there are no issues whatsoever with damage. So might as well run around using a shield. I'm doing actually a lot of damage. See, and we're leveling up already again. And this isn't only the case, by the way, just at the start of the game. This is a constant like increase in things to do and stuff, which is, I think, really cool. So we're gonna keep going with this intelligence and necrotic protection. It's just gonna come in handy later down the line. And for next level we have a few new things that we could invest points in, so we'll figure out if we do that. Yeah, you could even like speedrun it a little bit more if you're like, you know, just my minions are probably taking care of that guy, and if they don't, it's sort of fine. You really don't need to kill everybody either if you don't want to. It doesn't really matter. You can easily resummon your minions should they die, you know. And everything like this is just quite efficient, I would say. So I've never really worried too much about all the possible places that I can go. I'm just following the arrows basically on the map and we're figuring it out like that, right? Sometimes I summon a tree. I'm not totally sure about it, but I think it taunts for some weird reason. So whenever I get hit, I have a chance to summon a tree. And I think it is part of like a passive that I have over... No. How does that work? Why do I get a tree? Is it because of this? No, right? No. I'm not sure, to be totally honest. But it sometimes happens. Like, people can hit me and I summon a tree. So let's go over here, which is the old barracks. What a nice game. This is available on Steam? Yes, it is. For about 30 euros you can get it. And welcome to the stream, man. If you have any questions about the game, don't hesitate to ask. So this is not necessarily a place I need to be. I just know that there's like a ton of enemies here, and there's some good loot as well to be had. Town nearly or mainly near the end of the dungeons here. And you see that the speed at which I like clear everything, it's just really good currently. So yeah, it's completely fine running a little bit off track, killing some monsters. Now we're level 12 already. So whenever I level up, I get a passive skill point, but that's the only thing I'm getting, right? So sometimes, incidentally, my active skill trees, they level up as well when I level up, but they're not related. So every now and then you just level up, every now and then you get your active abilities to level up. It does not, I'm not totally sure if it has co-op, to be honest. By the way, man, nice job with the paying online videos. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm playing it a little bit less because there's just nothing to do in the end game. That's the main issue that I currently have with it. So we keep investing in this. The cursed enemies have minus 140 necrotic protection, which makes my necrotic like swipe ability, the harvest, which makes the harvest even more efficient. And we can invest in something else. So if you drop below half health, you summon a revenant with decaying health. So that is like a more of a protection kind of mechanism. And here you deal 12% increased damage per allocated point. But if you have killed an enemy in the past 4 seconds, your current health is drained by 1% per second. Ooh, that seems I'm not sure if that's a good idea. I'm not too sure I like the Revenant either, to be honest. You know? So, yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. We're just gonna keep investing in the intelligence and necrotic protection. That kind of stuff is good. Intelligence impacts all my skills. And necrotic protection is just a lot of stuff that I normally have over here. This is the protection that I have. Necrotic 50 apparently, so I'm 22% protected. Hi, do you think characters will be deleted after the beta? I honestly don't know. I have no idea. I know that there have been several server wipes already, and they're not mentioning that they're not wiping servers either. Like I think just every now and then they just wipe it. But I didn't find it to be an actual issue with this game, because unlike some other games, this game is much more about like creating new characters, coming up with funky, interesting builds, and then trying out those builds in the end game. And as you're about to see if you stick around for a bit, leveling is really fast in this game, and getting to the end game is also, it's not taking you a massive amount of time, which is nice, I think. All right, so we're gonna continue where we need to be. This was basically a small detour, but you could visit the Discord and check how their policy is on the wipes. But I know for a fact there have been a few, and without really any major backlash or anything, because they're pretty open about it. And I'm a little bit rushing through the campaign right now. So I think currently there are 5 chapters, and one of my main criticisms was that like a lot of these chapters and levels, they look fairly similar. So in that sense, it's a little repetitive. But I think the graphics and the art style overhaul is definitely going to fix a lot of that issues. And also I noticed by now, because I started playing again after a while, the new chapters have some new enemies as well, and it's a little bit more interesting, because otherwise you're only fighting like these purple monsters all the time. Here, there's my tree again, see? I think the tree is just like taunting for some reason. It's like a taunting tree. Yeah, and I'm actually planning to cover this game some more also in videos. Because I've really enjoyed playing this game. And yeah, I think it could be nice to cover this a little bit more. Do some updates on the on whatever updates are out there. Like they have a bunch of like good patch notes as well. They have a roadmap. They have some pretty interesting stuff to cover, I feel. And yeah. So we're just refreshing our skeletons a little bit so they get a bit more healthy, you know. What are we doing over here? Yeah, even 100% chance to shred necrotic protection on hit. There we go. Sounds good. So the barrels you really wanna. The skeletal mage is casting the tree. Yeah, it's not in the description though. But it has to be something like this, right? I don't think they are. Now, I've seen it somewhere that if I'm hit, I'm summoning a tree. I've seen it somewhere. Marked for death? No, it's not the bone golem either. It's not the harvest either, right? Is it an item maybe? Is it an item that I have? Yeah, here it is. There it is, here. 10% chance to summon an illusory tree when hit. 15-second cooldown. And then you don't really know what an illusory tree is, but that is what's happening. How about the multiplayer aspect of this game? Yeah, I don't really know. I don't think it is there. I've been just playing it like solo. Because this is really like a Grim Dawn kind of game, which I also play solo. But I don't think co-op is currently in place. They have a sort of roadmap, although they call it a forecast. And the main reason they do it is because they're not like making promises. And I'm pretty sure that the multiplayer is in phase 3. There are 4 phases for your reference. And currently we're in phase 1. So then you know a little bit like where we're at. So this game is supposed to go in like released in April 2020. So that's a while. And before they get there, they're gonna go through these phases. And these phases, they add more content. They add more skills. A little bit what that means, that they add more skills. They will add certain overhauls, like the graphical overhaul that I spoke about. They will add multiplayer, and I think that's in phase 3. So I'm pretty sure that currently there is no multiplayer. Nice, yeah. Because for example, if I go to the skills again, right? Now let's say I want to pick another skill. Let's wait till I'm level 19 and then I can show you. But they all seem to be like pretty much in control of the game and of what they're doing, of development. You know, there's not really any weird stuff going on either, which is kind of nice to see. So here I have 2 objectives apparently. The other thing is over there, and this is to where exactly? The lower district. I think that is where I need to be. Yeah, let's get into the smelting halls. first, because that's for the side quests. And side quests are worth doing because you get skill points, passive skill points. Just like in, you know, Path of Exile. And here, yet another unique. So you see, like, also the amount of like leveling, I feel the amount of uniques that you're getting. This is my second unique in the, and those are the strongest items in the game, right? Unique items. They're like legendaries. So I got already 2 of them. And I think they just do like a really good job in terms of like that balance. Tons of level ups, tons of new items, upgrades every now and then, the skill trees that independently level up, and then you get these uniques every half hour or something. I really enjoy it. So what does it say? 50% chance to poison on hit, 50% chance to slow on hit, 5% increased melee attack speed, 45% increased dodge rating. That's a pretty good belt. Not gonna lie. Okay, great. Let's spend some more points over there. Going for intelligence, basically. I have to say, it looks really smooth. I didn't finish the campaign once and I struggled a bit with my damage and staying alive. But that's maybe because my build sucks. Yeah, that could be because your build sucks. If you enjoy a necromancer or like a summoner, what I found was working really well for me, especially when I was like learning this game, basically, is to either create a necromancer. So that's this class, the acolyte, but then you spec into necromancy. Because the skill tree for necromancy and for like skeletons is really good. Like you can summon entire armies of those things, and you can just like walk around and basically refresh the amount of skeletons that you have. Constantly just do that and easily reach the end game that way. And then, you know, once you get a bit more familiar with the game, you can start going into like more advanced classes, like what I think my class. This is a bit more of an advanced build, I feel. I mean, it is a build that I think that I've thought of myself. I'm not following any guides, and this build might not work at all in the long run, right? But we'll figure that out in the end game, whether this is actually a viable build. It looks so clean. I really like the reason I don't play Path of Exile is because there's so much going on. Monster brightness and camera angle. Yeah. Yeah, it looks, it's rather, you know, there's not that much going on here, which I kind of like. And it's not like super chaotic and stuff either. The only thing that, I mean, I don't necessarily like the level design of the void monsters too much. So all these purple guys, they're the void monsters. And all my skeletons are gone, by the way. I'm not a huge fan of their design, to be honest. But, you know, it's okay, I suppose. Okay, let's summon my army back. There we go. We're gonna level up. There we go. Yeah, maybe if Red Dead let me go, I'll give it another try with a new build. Yeah. Okay, here's the dude. Is that it? Return to the captain, return to the elder. Yeah, we'll get back to camp soon to turn in these quests. It'll give us a little bit, hopefully, of like additional skill points or things like that. What level am I now? 14. Okay. So we started at level 8, just for your reference. And that was like 45 minutes ago. Okay, so let's go to the... Oh, hello guys. I'm really curious to see like what the graphics overhaul is going to do to this game. It's also, by the way, really the type of game that is definitely showing signs of improvement. Right, if you play this, I played this like 2 months ago or something, and then I was like, yeah, you know, this definitely has a potential. But I was basically too much into Pagan Online at the time with all the videos I created about it and stuff like that. So there was just like a lot of Pagan Online stuff going on. But let's see, we need to go to the council chambers. But then 2 months later, so let's say roughly a week ago or something, I jumped back in and I thought like, wow, you know, they really took some steps here in 2 months' time. Okay, so here we see you get a passive point for these kind of quests, which is just really nice. This is, by the way, the respec guy. You can respec your passive abilities, which is kind of good. Another passive point. You get some experience too, but it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, so we're gonna go back to here. We have our marked for death at level 5, so we're gonna go with the lessened necrotic protection. So these guys are basically really screwed when I curse them. I'm gonna keep... Right, skill unlocked, detonate corpse. Could be fun. Could be fun instead of rip blood, for example, because I don't really use any of my skills apart from the... Well, some summoning and some other stuff. Detonate corpse, cost 43. Detonates the corpse of an enemy, dealing physical damage to living enemies around it. Added damage applies a double effectiveness. Yeah, I think the respec just costs some gold, but I can check for you. Yeah, I played Pagan Online straight for 3 weeks and I thought I found the games I was looking for. But like you said, the endgame is kind of sad. Yeah, the endgame is basically non-existent still. I mean, if you see how the endgame is over here, and they have a very similar setup, by the way. Like the endgame over here is a gauntlet as well. They've got 2 endgames that work well together. One is the Monolith of Time, which is basically, it's very comparable to maps in Path of Exile, with the sort of added effect that there is, you create this own timeline. So you start off with like a very simple map, and then you complete one map and you complete that timeline, and that's fine, right? So then with that timeline, this is a boss, by the way. With that timeline, you do the second one, and every debuff that you had in your first mission is now still existent in the second mission. But every bonus that you got, like experience or increased chance to find good items, also. So the longer your timeline, the more hard it progressively gets, but also the more rewarding. Because every buff and everything is it just remains over there, right? Which is pretty cool, I feel. And then the other thing is just an arena with an endless amount of waves, and the more waves you survive, the bigger your reward. Also very well implemented, and it gets progressively harder per wave, so yeah. Fun stuff, really fun to do. And I think the main sort of gameplay loop that I find myself in all the time is I try to come up with a build, like my Lich build, even though it's not really like fleshed out too well, but You know, I have some idea of what I want to do with this character. And then we get into the end game around level 40 or something. And then you're gonna figure out relatively quickly whether your build was a good idea or not. Okay, let's see. I think we're gonna grant poison protection, and then when we kill an enemy we have 8% chance per allocated point to poison the enemies around them. And we'll do that 5 times, so that's 40 poison protection and 40% chance. Which is good because enemies are usually like stuck together, like they're grouped up. So let's do that. And then once we spend 20 points in our Acolyte skill tree, we can specialize into either a Necromancer or a Lich. Now we're gonna be a Lich, because our name is Mitch. Mitch the Lich. Oh wait, I'm missing something. Oh, return to the Elder, right. How to highlight the name with @ I don't know. No, level 50 is not the max level. No, level... I haven't reached the max level yet. I think it's like 100 or something. I have one character at level 70. And then the leveling gets a little bit more grindy. But, you know, you're at level 70 at that point, so... Makes sense, I think. So, the harvest... do we want this element of death, that it converts all added damage to necrotic damage? That's probably a good idea, because we're shredding all the necrotic damage and everything, right? And the healing is probably good too. So let's just do those two. We'll pick like either... Yeah, because I was thinking we're going with this route here, over here. So I'll just do like a 60% increased area instead of 100 or something. Yeah. Yeah, not reach max level, and you get a passive point every level. Yes, you do. Yeah, so, but it's gonna be harder and harder to level up. Reach the surface. Okay, this is also a good time to have a quick look at our gear. So first of all, your inventory management in this game is relatively easy. You can stash materials which are all crafting materials, so you don't have to think about that. So you just do this and everything is stashed, and you see like here this giant list of whatever was stashed. No, not very useful. And then when you start selling, you can think about, well, what do we want, right? So this seems pretty good. Some additional void protection and melee damage. My shield is not going to be as good as my shield that I have over there. But at some point I'm going to find something that's better than this unique. So what is this? 13 health gain on potion use, cast speed, minion damage, mana efficiency. It's not great. Melee attack speed, that's good. Physical damage, probably good. Bit of health, yeah, fine, we'll take it. Now the weapons that I'm getting are, like, this is also a pretty decent weapon, I feel. So I don't think in terms of weapons we're gonna like swap it out on an awful lot anytime soon. But, you know, we'll never know. And the slab we're just going to put in the stash for whenever we find like a new character. And yeah. How many stash tabs? 6. And I'm really not using 6 stash tabs. Like, yeah. Oh, it sounds like a plan because you can add all kinds of damage types and get converted to necrotic. Sounds nice. Yeah, especially if you got like a weapon that does additional, you know, frost damage. This will now also get converted to necrotic damage. So that seems to work. I also found, by the way, like contrary to like let's say Pagan Online, that the skill trees in this game actually work. I don't mean that in a bad way, but I've had so many skill trees in Pagan Online, and then I tried them out, and then they were bugged, right? That's not the case over here. They sort of theory crafted a bunch of skill trees, and they actually worked because, you know, the descriptions are actually correct. Now, I think that's kind of nice. And I also think that for an early access game, it's pretty decent, right? It's not cheap, you know. 30 euros. It's not cheap. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. Like, I've already basically got my return on investment just by playing the game, and I've been playing 3 different characters so far. My first character was also an acolyte, but then he turned into a necromancer, and I had a lot of fun with that, to be honest. Like, I really like summoner classes, so playing necromancer like that was just a lot of fun, really. My second class was also a summoner, but then a beastmaster. And so a necromancer obviously summons like a bunch of skeletons and whatever. And liches and mages and golems and that kind of thing. And the beastmaster has all kinds of beasts. It's no surprise, huh? So I had a scorpion, I had a bear, I had 2 wolves, and a what's it called, like a leopard kind of thing, you know, like a cheetah or a puma or whatever, like one of those things, tiger, whatever, one of those. And all 4 of those, they're out at the same time, so a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, and then just like I buffed them from a distance, and that was basically my entire build. And I reached level 70 with it without any real issues, and endgame is still possible with that build. Thyworm, in your opinion, what's the best option for action RPG right now on the market? I mean, I think Path of Exile, right? I still find myself going back to that game every now and then. Path of Exile is an amazing game, if you ask me. But I do get that people at some point in time get bored of it. I get bored of it too. And the main thing I don't like about it is, like, say that you need to follow like 3 university courses in order to understand the game mechanics. That is something that I think is a bit too much. Like, I watched probably 100 hours of tutorials before I was sort of capable of understanding like the passive skill trees, why builds actually work, and then you don't even get to like crafting properly, right? Crafting is also like, I don't understand why they made it also difficult, to be honest. But it also creates like this very deep experience, and like once you're in it, then it makes perfect sense. But like just playing Path of Exile is almost impossible. You need at least a build guide, otherwise it's gonna be horrible, right? Those are like 4 different cats. Which one? A tiger, I take. A puma, not so much. Yeah, I was like a cat kind of thing. Like I think they actually call it a saber-tooth. So that's a tiger, right? Saber-tooth tiger. I mean, they're extinct in our world, but hey. Level 16. Okay, so we're gonna go with the poison thing. Other action RPGs that I think are good. I mean, this one's pretty decent, but obviously not finished. Like, it's not finished, but it's very playable. All the way up to endgame. I think Grim Dawn is still a very solid choice. I like Grim Dawn. I think those games really, unless you want to go back to like much older games. Grim Dawn is already getting a little old. It's a 2016 game, right? Yeah, this is the point. It's so complex. Yeah. I mean, I don't like it that much that it's so complex. I much prefer a system like this, which is, you know, versatile enough. Like, there is plenty of versatility within this game. And because of the specializations, because of the passives, because of unique items that can really like make or break a build in that sense. There's some interesting set items too. And we're gonna get into the set items in a little bit when I'm capable or high enough level to wear them. Right now we're level 16, so we're getting there. Which game you talk about? You have 4 creatures summoned at the same time? Yeah, that's this game. That's this game. So that's my other character. He's a Beastmaster and he's got like half a zoo. It's really fun. And this thing's level up. Yeah, so we're gonna do with the cursed enemies and increase mana cost. Sure, because we got plenty of mana. We're not really spending our mana either. I tried Path of Exile so many times, but it's too much for me. Yeah, I totally get that. Like, I got into it for a little bit. I think I have like maybe 200 to 300 hours into that game. Like, really not like a massive amount of time. Which basically tells you, like, you know, I have my moments with Path of Exile. I have my moments where I'm really enjoying it. Especially when they come out with like a new league, which I think is a brilliant mechanic, by the way. But then, yeah. There's just too many things that can go wrong when you build a character in Path of Exile. And I don't think it's fun. Because then you spend all that time and, you know, in a build that doesn't actually work. It's kind of sad. Yeah, he's sort of a zookeeper. Yeah. Yeah, and the funny thing is, he also summons 5 totems. 5 totems that like basically fire out a bunch of thorns all the time. So I have my animals running around, and then I can also summon a bunch of totems. Here, level 17. To also once again do like additional poison damage on everybody who is like near my pets. Oh, he's back. Okay, let's check over here. I think there's another side quest. I don't like the graphics PoE, although it is a good game. Graphics in the game look better, more mysterious. Yeah, that's true. Okay, there's something over here, right? The wasteland. Do I need to go there or not? Yeah, I think so. Let's go there. Okay, let's summon some additional skellies. That were all good. Thyworm, what do you think about the Lineage 2M multi-platform action RPG from NCSoft? I don't know it, so I can't really comment on it. More poison protection, and here I think we're going for the health as well for now, and then we'll put 3 points in the increased area, and then 3 points in the crit chance, and then 7 points in the additional damage, because this is another 91 damage, right? That seems worth it. 91% damage. Die, my friend. Hey, man. How's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, it's good to see you too. It's been a while, and I actually, like, now that I see some of the other guys again on the YouTube stream, it feels good, man. I mean, I'm already glad that I'm sort of like made the move back to YouTube, to be perfectly honest. It makes just so much more sense for me to stream over here. Like, I don't have a schedule, I can just do a planned stream. Everybody can jump in whenever they check the channel. If you check a bit more regularly, you can actually see when the planned stream is up, because it's like an event, right? We're in Spiderland currently. So I'm definitely rushing a little bit, like, through the game in that sense, but just because, you know, we can. You get a decent amount of experience, and I have experienced the story already in this game. But to be honest, if you do appreciate stories in action RPGs, which not everybody does, it's definitely decent. And sort of the angle of this entire game is that there are different eras, and now I'm also, like, in different eras. You're also playing in these different eras. I gotta say, this light setup on the background, awesome. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. I spent some time and effort and some money too on that, so it's nice. It's nice that people notice. Great to hear. Because also here, if you see it in the top right corner, you see the ruined era. It's very small, but current ruined era. And you can travel between eras using, like, a shard of time. So you have the ancient era. If I zoom out, everything was still nice. See, it's all green in the ancient era. Then you have the divine era, which already is a bit less great. There's fires, there's stuff going on. Then you have the imperial era, where civilization, like, rises up, but also the cold comes in. And then you have the ruined era, where everything is, like, overrun by the corruption, which are those purple void monsters. Kind of like it. And you jump between eras, and the quests are actually quite good in that sense, story-wise. I mean, you know, for an action RPG. Last Epoch was a good game, but the need to implement design for gear and multiplayer ASAP. Some different kind of in-game option, not just story and arena. Yeah, nah, I to some extent I agree, but I am still quite enjoying the end game content that's there. Even though it's you know, there's at least a good amount of variation in it. I mean, compare it to Pagan Online, right? Those are dangerous, by the way. Those guys. There's quite a bit of stuff you can do. So I agree that, you know, that's definitely one of the things that will help this game a lot, but I'm still enjoying myself solo, and I got about like 40 hours into the game so far. And I'm just playing around with different characters. Are those all the 4 eras, or will there be more as you progress? I don't actually know. There might be more if you progress. Not sure what their plans are on the story in that sense, to be honest. I'm in the same situation as you with playing online. Boring. They need to do something to make the game fun again. But are you talking about the last Epoch in that situation, or are you talking about Pagan Online? I don't want to lose faith in Pagan Online. Yeah. I mean, I also don't want to lose faith in Pagan Online. Because I really like the game. And I met the developers. They're but they've also made some really questionable decisions. Not only the developers, but just people that are generally involved with the game. They're just making some really questionable decisions. Such as releasing on the day the World of Warcraft Classic comes out. Now, I thought at first, to be honest, that it wouldn't really impact it all too much. But that was a very naive thing to think. Okay, we're gonna unlock the mastery. I'll continue talking a little bit about this. So we're gonna go into a Lich. That's the whole point of this build. So we're gonna go to the Lich. That's fine. And then let me quickly set up this. Yeah. So I thought it wasn't gonna be that bad. Yeah, Pagan Online. Okay, about Pagan. Hey, Fifth. I have issues with co-op. When I add a friend to party, he doesn't receive requests. Anyone had the same problem or know how to fix it? Me too. It's a general issue, yeah. Pagan has another hotfix tomorrow. I saw the notes. I was actually in the process of making a small video about it. That was a huge mistake, yeah. So we could just wait for them to fix it, yeah. Yeah, so I thought at first, you know, regarding the whole classic release, I was like, yeah, you know, how much of competition are we talking about here? I mean, isn't World of Warcraft like a competitor for basically every game? It's not specifically a competitor for online, right? And that was sort of my general stance on it. And to that extent, I agreed with, like, I think it was Mirko who said in either like a dev stream or in a dev log, something along those lines, like, yeah, we have faith in our own product, and fine, right? I had faith in their product, and to some extent I still have faith. But then the classic World of Warcraft hit, and I got instantly hooked to the game. Like, I played the game 15 years ago as well, and I just played basically World of Warcraft non-stop for 2 weeks. The first week I got like, well, I think in 1.5 weeks I had like 70 or 80 hours of playtime in that game. And that is a lot of time for someone who has like a full-time job and also still makes some YouTube videos. Like, that was basically all the time that I did not do anything else like real life related, or, you know, something along those lines. So I got completely swallowed up by that game. Hey, another unique and legendary. So yeah, I'll continue this train of thought in a little bit. Let's read some of your questions. So yeah, man, it's what we have now. Yeah, they should wait a little bit and fix, for example, the co-op and then release the game. Yeah. So they made more than one mistake. Like, the first mistake is they released it in the window of World of Warcraft. And to continue my thought a little bit on that, I have been watching Metacritic, for example, trying to figure out, like, is anybody actually like reviewing this game, right? And no one is. Currently on Metacritic, at least yesterday, I think, there are 6 reviews out there. And I think only one of them is from an English-speaking website. And the other ones I had to translate using Google Translate because they were either like French, Bulgarian, and then more like local reviews, you could say. And the point is basically like nobody's talking about this game, right? Nobody's talking about Pagan Online. Because everybody was talking about World of Warcraft, all the streamers were streaming World of Warcraft. There was no exposure whatsoever. And there are still like, I don't know how many people that have no idea about this game, right? And I think that's just sad. And a missed opportunity. I don't know, maybe they switch from co-op to multiplayer. Console should be better. Yeah. Maybe. But then also if you see in the state, the state that the game released in, with the stash bug, right? People losing their entire stash. Uber Shalulf lost his stash too. And there were like plenty of other people who lost their entire stash. I mean, yeah, at some point they got it back, but I know a guy that had to wait for 2 weeks. Lost squirrel. He was waiting for like roughly 2 weeks for this issue to be resolved. I mean, 2 weeks. That was when the first hot patch came out. That's crazy, right? And I'm not sure if any of you tried to play with a controller. Have any of you tried to play with a controller, Pagan Online on the PC with a controller? I'm just gonna see if by any chance someone has tried that for whatever reason, basically. It's very interesting. Alright, I'll read your stuff. Just a second. Yeah, man, it's so stab. First stab with the wrong foot. Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly what happened, right? If that's true, I hope for Pagan that the game will get more players with some time, like PoE, yeah. I hope so too. It's very interesting. They have a server for multiplayers, but they only use it when the players are in the lobby. Yeah, it's the reason why you can see other players when you're in Pantheon. But when you activate the co-op, you're the host of the other party member. Yeah, their netcoding and like co-op implementation and anything like that is such a weird way of implementing these things, right? Yeah, it was nice. Game release, you can't play for a week. Yeah. Yeah. And this made their way into the reviews, by the way. I mean, the PC Gamer review has this in their review. So if anybody actually reading that, you know, that's not a good sign. I keep tracking on Steam charts, it's doing well, but nothing around the internet. Yeah, but even the Steam charts, I check those too. They're declining though, right? They're around what now? 400 concurrent max. 400 players. I mean, it's more than that, but it's more about like the relative amount, right? It doesn't matter if it's 400 or like 1600. That's really irrelevant. It's a downward trend by now. Yeah. By the way, level 19, new spell to skill. Yeah, we're gonna get into that as well. Imagine I'm in DR. What was DR? Like the German Republic or something? That's DR. And I play with the Vietnam guy. For sure he has strong lag. Yeah. For sure he has strong lag, true. I tried, it was not for me. I played with the controller for like 3 minutes, then I switched back. WASD is too good for the game. Yeah, so about the controller, I found that the controller was completely broken. Like, the game is absolutely unplayable with the controller. I have an Xbox 360 controller, USB, extremely standard, I would say, right? And I was like, wow, man. This is so bad. Oh, Dominican Republic? I see. In the Caribbean. Yeah, I know where it is. It's next to Haiti. I just didn't know the abbreviation. Yeah. But that was another thing that I was like, it was completely broken at launch. There's no way you could play this with a controller, right? I tried. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. So there were quite a few things that just didn't really work. And then for everybody who was already in the beta, like us, on Steam charts it's growing. Really? Interesting. I've seen something else. Correct, yeah. I noticed there's a bit of lag in the stream, by the way, guys. I think it's getting close to like 20 or 30 seconds. I'm not too sure about what YouTube does with that. Like, there are like low latency streams, so maybe I'll just try that next. Maybe I'll try it next time. See if it works better. Yeah, same here. Xbox controller. I mean, keybinds work, but just feel wonky. Yeah, but playing it feels weird, right? I mean, the combat is then sort of okay, and then you start looting, and it just doesn't work. Like, looting with the controller was as bad as I imagined it to be. Potentially worse than I imagined it to be. So, every so many levels, you can select a new skill. Back to this game, right? Every so many levels, you can select a new skill to invest in. Streaming on YouTube, yes, it is possible. I'm proving it right now. So you can select a skill, and then one of these you can start to specialize in, right? And this is what I mean with like their early access thing. They will say at release all skills will have trees, but the ones below do not have one yet. So Detonate Corpse doesn't have a skill tree yet. But every so often, every, let's say, content patch, they are adding a few skills to specialize in, which I think is super nice. It's funny, I stream last Epoch, but we have a long conversation playing online. Yeah, it's almost unavoidable, but it's completely fine. I mean, I kind of know the community, right? And a lot of people are here. A pagan deadline, yeah. A lot of people are here for like the pagan online content, or this is at least how they discovered the channel. So I don't mind talking about pagan online, and I think it's still a very interesting topic. I just cannot be bothered to stream it currently. To me, it's simply too boring. Yeah. Yikes. Yeah, I know, man. So we can pick one of the one of these skills, basically, to invest in. And I kind of want to go to a necrotic build. So I'm either thinking about the Wandering Spirits or the Hungering Souls. Not in the least because of their cool names. So calls for 5 Hungering Souls that seek out enemies. On hit they deal necrotic damage and then possesses the target. Possessed enemies take necrotic damage over time for 2 seconds. Huh. Seems cool. What does it spec into? 2 additional souls. Okay. They travel faster. Increases the angle. Oh, 6 additional souls. How many of these souls are we gonna get? Chance to poison. Fewer souls, but they do more damage. 1 soul. 1 very large soul. That's pretty cool that you can spec into like a single large soul. Great soul. Increase size, increase damage. 10% chance to return mana. Returns 2 additional mana. Crit chance and base crit chance. It's pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Okay, more necrotic damage. That's good for me, right? They instantly kill them if they are below a certain threshold. 5% chance to cast Hungering Souls when hit. Ah. You can no longer cast Hungering Souls manually. Okay, so you're really gonna put this into like a passive theme, which that's kinda good, because I want my main thing to be still like the combination of these two, right? The curse and like the swipe. In my opinion, last Epoch have the Necro more similar to the Necro of Diablo 2. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely true. 6% chance per allocated point to cast Hungry Souls when hit. Okay. So I could just have this as a sort of like backup thing. Whenever I'm hit, every now and then I'm casting a soul. And we're just increasing like the chance of hit using all these things. That seems cool. And then we could cast like a bunch of additional souls if we see the use of that, or we could go this route. We have 20 points to spend in total. Like these skills, they level up to level 20 and then they stop. Chance to poison, does the poison damage get converted too? Yeah, I don't think so. I think the conversion was over here, right? It's only the harvest. I think it's only additional damage from like your weapon or your swing. So if your weapon does fire damage, it gets converted to necrotic damage. I don't think this gets converted either. But this base necrotic damage is a good starting point for sure, because this is what I'm reducing. And then this seems to tie in relatively well. So how many points is this? It's like 6, 7, 10, 12 points. And then I can also make it like, I can make it like a giant soul over here. Right, with the additional, for example, with the additional feat over here that I return mana. Is there max level for spells? Yes, so it's level 20. Level 20 is the max level, I found out. So you have 20 points to spend. Can you give a flash to your other character, the Zookeeper, anytime? Yeah, I can do that. I should be able to do that. Yeah, so we're gonna go with this. Seems fun. Like Ravenous. Base necrotic damage. I should equip it, so the detonate one is just gonna get out, and here's the Hungering Souls. Oh, there. Okay, yeah.
Feel my wrath.
That's not bad. Okay, and then we get into the Lich territory, right? So we grant 2 intelligence, but reduces health regeneration. We get more health, and we get a certain percentage of spell damage Lich as health, which could be really good. Or 5% increased damage per allocated point. This is just raw damage with everything. And this is the necrotic thing, right? So 12% increased necrotic damage per allocated point. Seems also very good. Soul barrier. So these are some protective things. I think some of the protective stuff you need at some point in time as well, because otherwise you're simply gonna die at some point. So, but for now, I think the Dance with Death is fine. 5% increased damage per allocated point. Seems pretty good. Although the Leech isn't bad either. Maybe we go for the Leech and we get some additional health going. For how long in early access is this game? I wonder if it's worth checking, or will it be an endless dev like like Voltson. They have a release date, which is April 2020. 4% spell vamp sounds good, yeah. I agree. And the additional health is pretty decent too. Okay. Good. I think I need to go back for some reason. Yeah, in the council chamber. Over there. Yeah, I'll relog Zoo Master. You can see a little bit what he's like. First, let me complete the quest, otherwise I forget this. Get some gold and some experience. Yeah, it's fine. The Arboreal Circuit. I can have 2 of those for increased minion armor. Yeah, let's just have 2 of those. I'll walk even faster, it's completely fine. Wilson is Eternal Dev, yeah. 4.20. I walk pretty fast, which is good. I think I buy from early access 4 years ago. Yeah, I heard that it was like in an endless like loop of development hell basically. But they're still developing it relatively actively. So I'm not sure like how they do that, but it's still going, right? It's still going, which is crazy, I think. So this is my... It's called a Primalist, apparently. So this is my character. It's like a druid. And these are the... So I need to summon my pets, but I need the amount of mana. So takes a little bit for my entire zoo to get ready. But, you know, we'll get there. And then I found a bunch of interesting weapons as well. Kind of funny. I'll go a little bit like through what I have, and I can play a little bit of endgame too. So this is the zoo, right? 2 wolves, like this primal saber tooth, a primal bear, and a primal scorpion, and a primal wolf. 2 primal wolves. And then my right mouse button is Thorn Totem, and I summon 5 Thorn Totems at the same time. And they spit poison damage. So like that, and then if there's someone around, they spit poison damage, and they have homing missiles as well. Well, Diablo 4 will release it the same day. Yeah. So that's what it is. And then I have these boots that are quite interesting as well. Here, you and your minions have 20% increased movement speed, which is great. You and your minions have 80% increased healing effectiveness, which is also good. Yeah, I haven't named them. But the bear is called Faven, that's for sure. Every second you are moving, you have a 20% chance to cast Summon Vine or Entangling Roots. So I am constantly moving, right? Because I don't really have to do anything. So if I'm moving around, you will sometimes see me either casting that, right? Those are the entangling vines. And or this thing. A poisonous vine. It starts attacking everybody who's close and doing poison damage. And then everything else is basically focused around additional minion damage. So here, 84% increased minion physical damage. And 65% increased minion damage, like overall minion damage. This is another unique helmet, which is great because it gives me another maximum companion. Minion health. This has got minion damage on it. This has got minion dodge rating, minion damage, minion health. Minion damage, minion health. Minion damage, minion health. Some protection. Yeah, I'm thinking about creating a Beastmaster build, yeah. I'm thinking about creating like some content for Pagan Online. Oh, sorry, for Force of Habit. Some content for Last Epoch, regardless. And this is so you can do two things, right? You have the Monolith of Faith. You can choose a timeline, and I can choose one or the other, and you get some buffs and debuffs, basically, right? So they deal increased damage. They have 100% increased crit chance, but I get 15% increased item rarity and 7% increased experience. And you can keep doing this over and over. I'll pick one. We can run through a level. You can do this over and over, and every time you get 2 new options. And if you do it 2 times or something, the effects start to last multiple timelines. So if I pick something, at some point it says, hey, it will last like this for 5 timelines, and then you have that buff, but also the debuff for that amount of timelines, right? And these maps and everything, they're just randomized. So this is just like what I don't have to do anything. We have our pets. I'm just picking up stuff. I'm summoning some of the vines, right? And then they're just taking care of everything, really. I can buff them as well to even make them a little bit stronger. So once you summon a pet, you can buff those pets as well. So the buffs of the wolves, they howl, and then everybody does 10% increased damage. The flurry swipes are of the saber tooth, so they do like a swipe attack. The poison nova of the scorpion releases like a gas cloud of poison damage. And the bear makes everybody run away in fear. Now that's normally not something that you want to be doing, but at higher levels and when it gets more difficult, it's definitely useful. And then every map like this has a specific objective that you want to complete. So it's basically my job to either like keep the pets alive, which is not that hard, especially not at this stage of the game. But mostly my job is not to die myself, and that can be pretty tough. And this is what, let's say, one part of the end game. And the more of these levels that you survive, the better your loot. So I'm usually just picking up like the yellow items and the crafting items. And I'm not necessarily killing each and every enemy here. There's no reason to do that. But because these guys are just busy. So I got time to pick up the loot. I really enjoy this sort of playstyle, to be honest. And yeah, apparently I created a build that works pretty well, because this is like super smooth. And I kind of like all the additional effects. Oh. And you share your items as well, right? In the chests, which is kind of cool, because every time that I find like a unique, you can also find like uniques over here that are, well, uniques for level 20. You know, they're not all like high end game items here.
Impossible. Impossible.
And this is just a boss. Like, I don't really have to do anything. This is the boss I need to defeat. And then once I do, it's all good. See, so timeline conquered. You can open a portal, you're going back home. And then you can be ready for your next portal. For your next timeline. So we'll just loot a few items. Go back to the hub. Hey, Dai, what happened to GD? Grim Dawn, you don't like it? Yeah, I like it. But I like this a little better currently. Definitely Al Zookeeper, yeah, me too. Yeah, and then at the end of each timeline, you get a chest as a reward. So there's some stuff in this, and this chest gets better rewards the more timelines you conquer. This is all super convenient because here's a shop. So you can figure out like, hey, is this any good? For example, this has a 125% increased minion physical damage, which is quite a bit, but it's not good enough. And you're just checking like, is it any good? Well, you know, not all that much. You can easily compare if you want. It does minion damage and spell fire damage and attunement. This is actually an upgrade, so that's nice. You stash all your regular materials and then you just literally go through this. At least is what I do. Another 30% increased minion damage, but I think I want some health as well on these guys. Otherwise they just die so quickly. And that's, let's say, half of the end game that you can currently do. Then you have your stash here, which is quite convenient, so you can store all your stuff that you find. And here's the crafting station. You can start crafting your weapons or trying to improve them that way. I think we'll get into that at some point as well. But and here, otherwise, you just like, here you see I got one timeline conquered and I can do another one. And the bigger risks I take, the better my rewards. But yeah, I don't understand why the model of your chest is different of your character. Same with your head. What? You mean the aspect on how he looks? Is it? Is he that different? It looks pretty much like this, right? Or am I missing something here? I don't really see what you mean. Yeah, but this is basically what you can do. And the other part of the end game is the arena, which is you're dropped in an arena, you're being sent like waves and waves. Oh, here. Yeah, this is what it looks like. Yeah, I'm zoomed in. Right. Looks pretty good to me, I think. Doesn't look bad. Looks pretty detailed too. For an action RPG, right? Everything is cranked up to max settings, by the way. No, when you switch gear, you're supposed to look different. Oh, really? Oh. Yeah, I can't... I mean... Huh. Your chair always looks similar. Oh, but it does take away the things, right? Here, take this away. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe that's... So you would assume that like if I swap this around for plate armor it looks different, but it doesn't actually. You're saying that every body armor piece has the same look? Is that your point? That could be the case. I never noticed that, to be perfectly honest. But I'm not really someone who looks at my characters an awful lot. I'm not really like a cosmetic... Let's say a cosmetic kind of guy. I don't really care too much. Yeah, but okay. If you change the item, you see what I say. Yeah. Well, let's see. So what if I do this, which is clearly a different item, right? There's some difference though, right? It changed a little bit. This has the shoulder pad and the skirt, and this doesn't have that. How about the plate? Yeah, okay. There are changes, but they're minor. Now I have the plate and I have like the shoulder pad and the thingy. And here I have the skirt again. Yeah, I mean, it's small differences, but I see your point. Yeah. The weapons seem definitely unique in their looks. Also, the legendary weapons that you have, they seem unique in their looks as well. But yeah, I see your point. Yeah, looks like Little Dev needs some help with the mod. Yeah. I think it's just not their main concern right now. Which I would understand, to be honest. I think it's probably okay. Okay, let's summon our group. And continue where we left off, which is, I think, the Forsaken Trail. We need to get over here. But we're already level 19, guys, in not even 2 hours. It's not true, I started level 8. Still, I gained 11 levels in not even 2 hours. And that is just by, you know, going through the story relatively quickly, just killing everybody you see, but not really going out of your way to explore or do anything like that. Even though you could, I mean, it is definitely a viable way to find additional gear. It's just that I already found like quite a healthy amount of gear in terms of uniques and stuff like that, so it wasn't really necessary. I mean, they could improve a little bit. Yeah, I totally agree. But this is early access, right? So I think that, you know, if this is something that a game lacks, I would rather that it lacks this than that it lacks like something to do in the end game. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how much you can do currently in the end game. I really like the cosmetic appearance, but yeah, I think it's okay for now. Yeah, I agree. Oh, hello. That was a lot of damage. Did you swap to YouTube or will you still stream on Twitch? I'm pretty sure I swapped to YouTube, at least for now. Because to me it's just so much easier. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't feel the need to, let's say, keep updating my page or something. Like, I just felt that, like, in order to be sort of like successful on Twitch, and successful is, you know, a very relative term, I felt like I just needed to do like so many things, and I think it makes a lot more sense for me to actually stream on YouTube. And now already by the amount of people in the... I can't actually see how many people are watching currently, because I'm not gonna worry about that when I'm streaming. But the amount of people in the chat and the let's say people that are communicating right now and just are here to basically join me is very hopeful. I really enjoy it when there's just like a few people at least in the chat just having a conversation about this game. And on Twitch lately I was regularly streaming, at least it turned out, for like, you know, 5 people. And yeah, that's just not really fun. And I don't mind streaming for 5 people if they're all talking, right? If we're just like talking in chat and stuff like that, that is good. But yeah, so I thought, you know, let's just go back to, you know, where I have an audience already, which is YouTube. And I think that people have also a much clearer understanding of where I'm coming from with this. The humming bee. Yeah, I have that weapon equipped already. So yeah, to me it makes a lot of sense. streaming on YouTube again. We should go down for this quest. I bought this game a long time ago before I decided to move to Steam. Oh, I see. Okay, we need to get this guy and then go into here. I think you get a skill point for this as well, so it's probably worth doing. Yeah, I guess it makes a lot of sense for you since you got a community here already. Yeah, I have to say I really don't like YouTube streams. Why is that? Oh, we should update this, by the way. So we're going for the necrotic damage, right? And then going to the Vengeful Souls, I think as soon as we can. So that this is like a passive ability. Right now I'm not even using it, these Hungering Souls. But I will once it's become a passive ability. I miss the Twitch emotes, to be honest. Yeah, that's something, I suppose. I mean, can't you, doesn't it work with better Twitch TV on the browser or something? Yeah, that's my main reason I don't like YouTube. The emotes suck. Yeah. I get that. I get that to some extent. But then I also feel that, you know, I don't really have a stream where you have like a ton of different emotes, right? Like hype in the chat, spam the emotes, that kind of thing. That is like, I get it from a viewer perspective to some extent, I suppose. But yeah.
Feel my wrath.
So what's happening here? Oh, are they coming from me? Maybe it's a little bit different for me than for you guys. I don't know. Oh, they're fighting over there. Oh yeah, it's my minions. My minions are being killed by them. I don't have any minions left. There. Let's get some of those guys back. There we go. Yeah, as a turd, the emotes here. There's Browser Adam, that's just weird. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Well, you know, maybe they'll update it. I can see that happening. Confront the Saint Cultist. Yeah, so we need to get back. And here we're going to Lich. We're going to do the spell vamp thing. Others probably won't see it. I also don't like the overall look. The chat's ugly. The general interface just looks weird. I don't know. Maybe we just gotta get used to it. Yeah. I mean, I watch some streams on YouTube. I don't really mind it. I mean, I think Twitch to some extent is definitely better. In terms of user interface, overall experience for the viewer. But for a streamer, Twitch is just a pretty rough place to be. I mean, there is no way really to get discovered. And YouTube is, at least in part, it's a search engine, right? And you can look for streamers, you can look for games. Even though it's not popular, people still manage to find me here. Because you have like a channel, I have videos, and then they see you live streaming, they think, oh, you know, that could be interesting. At least I think that's what's happening. Yeah, but I mean, I think it is what it is. If I would be streaming on Twitch right now, this game, I would probably have like 3 people watching. 5. And none of them would really be talking either. So, apart from Uber Shaloof, because he's always there, which I appreciate a lot. So, yeah, it's going to be this for at least a while. And just to and just to see how it goes, you know. Yeah, we get a passive point for this, which is nice. So that's going to be our 5th point, and then we're gonna Oh, we unlocked another skill, Defile. Consume corpses in target area, pulling any remaining life force from them to gain ward. Ah, nice. That's not bad at all. And I think we're slowly gonna give up these minions actually, just in favor of these kind of skills. Because if we can do that, right? We kill these guys, the corpse is on the floor. A little bit wonky, this corpse. Well, let's try it actually, instead of the... I think instead of the skellies. YouTube loves you, die, stay here. Yeah, I will stay on YouTube for sure. But I think the stream will stay on YouTube too. So I can defile... Those are gone now, they don't last that long. Okay. So I need to be quick about it. But I can defile them for additional shield. Did that work? Yeah, oh, that worked pretty well. So it's a decaying shield. Here you can see my shield. It's the numbers over there. It's not bad at all. Some additional protection. Especially with large groups, it seems to make sense, right? Over here, for example, that I do just this. Does it sort of work? I think the area could be a lot bigger if I look at it like that. Some lag die, is it? I can't actually see my streaming statistics and everything. If you press L or K, you can see the FPS, if my memory is okay. L is ladder, apparently. K is cosmetics. You mean just in game? I'm not sure if that's... I'm not experiencing any lag, it seems. Does it have like keybinds? Input? Toggle user interface. Toggle tooltips. No, I don't want this actually on Z. I accidentally put it on like this weird button or something. Holy hell, this is an ugly interface. Bloody hell. Okay. Ladder, minion attack, quest log. I have no lags, yeah. Display your current frames per second, F11. Okay. It's over there. 55, not even 60. If you know what system I'm running, that's kind of sad. But I suppose it's okay. The optimization of this game is what basically made me stop playing it at the start. So this is something that here, that's a lot of ward, right? 120. To be honest, I'm not totally sure how useful this is. Like, this ward should stick around for like a lot longer for this to actually make sort of sense. Lol. I have to get used to this. You have to get used to what? Yeah, so it's kind of stuck at 55, eh? So you have the shield, but it is decaying extremely fast. So I'm not totally sure what we can do about that, to be honest. No, there's nothing there. There's probably some skills that have me have this remaining a little longer, but we'll see.
Feel my wrath.
Looks fine for you. 50 to 60 FPS, yeah. Yeah. I can't really see the quality of the stream, to be honest. Which is a little weird actually, but like normally that is there. But for some reason it is not there. But if it's only you that's lagging, it's just no emotes. Yeah, guys. I'm afraid for now at least you'll have to deal with it. We can do a complaint at YouTube. And say, hey guys, if you want this streaming thing to succeed, give us some cool emotes. You can do that.
Feel my wrath.
Sergio Lopez, $5 for the lights on the background. Just gaming. I love everything on your live stream. Thanks so much. Oh, and even the emote works. How about that? Or it's not an emote. Even the... What was that? The alert. Even the alert works. I set the alert like this afternoon, so I wasn't sure at all whether it should work. Thank you so much, Sergio Lopez. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for $5, man. No, I really appreciate it. It's super cool. Thank you so much. That is, believe it or not, but it is the first donation that I ever received on stream. We had, for some very loyal subscribers on Twitch, Uber Shalouf was one of them, and there were a few more. But also that was like, it was hard to pick up, right? It was really hard to set up the emotes for that for some reason. I'm not sure, and every resub didn't come in, and I felt kind of bad about it, to be honest. Because people were subbing for months and it just didn't show up. Which I think was just Twitch, to be honest. You deserve it, man. I wish you could send more. No, man. I mean, I have no worries for money. And I just really appreciate the gesture. No, I wouldn't ask people to donate in that sense. Like, you know, if you want to support, sure, it's fine. And I guess the super chats are a somewhat elegant way to do it. But I'm not on YouTube or streaming to make money at all. Not even in like a long-term goal, because I have a full-time job that I really enjoy. And a lot, like, and then I mean like an awful lot will need to happen in order for me to give up like this job, which is a pretty regular office job. I'm an IT architect within a financial company, and I'm making a pretty decent salary. So in order for me to give that up for something like YouTube, I don't think it will ever happen. So I'm not steering towards it. I don't have the ambition. I just want to provide nice content. I really enjoy like this. I really enjoy the streams. I really enjoy interacting with you guys. It's just a lot of fun for me. And I really enjoy creating videos as well, and the editing process and recording the voiceovers, and just trying to contribute a little bit to game developers that I really appreciate, or just the games that I've been enjoying for whatever reason. And it's always nice if people, you know, send a comment or do something like that, right? Or say that they appreciate, for example, the background or the stuff that I definitely put effort in. Like, I'm definitely putting effort in my stream and my videos, but I'm not asking for anything in return. Like, just watch the content, you know, subscribe to the channel. That's all that we need. Hey, what's this? Huh. But you know, I really enjoy your videos, man. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. That's great to hear. We should level up. I'm not sure about this ward thing, to be honest. Let's do that. So we cast the Hungering Souls when we get hit. And here we're going for the increased radius of this ability. Which should be good, right? Okay, let's just go over here. Yeah, that is stuff that you really want to get away from. Oh, it's possessing. That was the Hungering Soul, wasn't it? Was that the Hungering Soul possessing the actual enemy there? I think it was, because he suddenly turned into like a minion of mine. That's crazy. Okay, what else do we have? The Wandering Spirits, right? I think those are fun. I've had those before in my Necromancer build. Those do like a lot of damage. And you can upgrade them too, I feel. Oh. Yeah, so the only problem that I'm gonna be running into, I think, at some point, is that I don't really have a whole lot of defensive capabilities. So, yeah, let's see how that goes. We got unspent points. Here we need to make a decision as well. So, this is a soul barrier. And it creates more wards, which protects me, which is good. Increased necrotic damage. Yeah, this is a no-brainer, right? We're gonna go for that. And then me and my minions. Inflict bleeding. I don't think so. When you kill an enemy, you have 5% chance per allocated point to summon a putrid wraith from its corpse. Putrid wraiths now throw poison at enemies. Okay, so you summon a bunch of minions when you kill. That seems pretty good. And the Reaper, enemies you bring below 2% health per allocated point with a spell or melee attack are instantly slain. That sounds also pretty good. Let's go with the necrotic damage for now, because these 5 points are just a no-brainer. Every type of damage that I do is necrotic. So that is really not a question. There's this tree again. But you can already see, like, the enemies are getting a little tougher and they start to hurt a lot. Anyone tried the WoW Classic? Yeah, I did. I played it a lot. Like a lot. But now I'm sort of like done with it. Focusing again on other games. Yeah, but I thought it was like a lot of fun actually, and I'm really happy to see that there are still so many people that are still playing Classic. And I thoroughly enjoyed all the streams on the topic as well, like especially Asmongold and all the shenanigans that he pulled. I thought it was hilarious, to be honest. Watch every now and then. It's just so good. And I'm beginning to consider it. Yeah, I thought it was amazing. Like, for me, it was a trip down memory lane. I played that game 15 years ago. I thought it was great. This tree is taunting. It gets a little bit harder, eh? Like my damage is... Because I'm still using the same weapon, probably. Maybe I should try and find like a better weapon for this kind of stuff. It's not the worst, but
Feel my
yeah,
wrath.
I think we can do better. I might have something in the stash that's just a lot better. After Blizzard asked if I not have a phone, I quit. Oh, holy hell. You've been slain by an adorned void from a void cleric. That was like an instant kill. Interesting. So we're going to do this. So that my Hungering Souls thing is a passive. Which is good. Another way, the threat, the community isn't. Yeah, I know the way they treat the community isn't. Yeah. Okay, let's do some cleaning up here. Some of the things that I love about this game is let's say how sort of like smooth and accessible everything is. So
My wrath.
the famous one shot, yeah, what was that about? So I really like the fact that you can like sort your items in your inventory. I know this is not a revolutionary perk, but you know, so many games still don't have it. And then I also really like the way that you can stash your crafting materials with just a single click, and then they're all over here in case you need them. So whenever your inventory is full, you can just click 2 buttons and you have space again in your inventory, which I think is super nice. This is a guy we need to... Yeah, that, like, I'm not sure how well this is gonna be, like this is gonna go actually, but... it's okay-ish, like I'm cursing him, he's poisoned too, or he's bleeding, or like something is happening there at least. As long as it don't stand in those rings, we're probably fine. There we go.
That is too much.
That is too much. That's what she said. But what is too much? This is okay, right? There we go. The famous one shot will just get one shot at, yeah. Oh, Uber Shalouf also with the €2. Thanks so much, guys. The cute donations keep coming in. I really love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm sure there will be a notification, like an alert, at some point. But my chat is faster than the stream is, I think. Not sure. Oh, there it is. See? Oh, it counts in dollars. I'll probably have to change that to euros or something. I don't know. It does a conversion for some reason. But thanks so much, man. And also thanks so much for all the support on Twitch. All the subscriptions. Super nice to see that.
This
Okay.
place once held so many secrets, so much power. Such a shame what it has been reduced to.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna kill each and every enemy anymore. I think it's just going to be a little bit like this, and that's about it.
Feel my
Just a test. Well, then the test was successful, I think. Thanks for that, buddy. When I donate, I don't get the notification? Yeah, you did. There was a notification for you too. I saw it. Yeah, there was an alert for you too. That's how I noticed it, because I heard the sound. But to be honest, the chat is a lot cleaner on the YouTube than it is on Twitch. I mean, that probably has to do with the emotes, to be honest. But I can actually like read the chat fairly well, and whenever someone does a super chat, it's like nice and blue. In this case, and like your super chat was a different color, so it really stands out. Which is great, because then I don't miss it. Do you like the lore of Last Epoch? Yeah, I think so. I kind of enjoy it. I think the whole premise of the fact that you have like different eras that you can travel towards, and also the sort of implicit lore where it has really decayed over time, but you can still see how it was because you can travel between all these different timelines. I really like it, to be honest. I think it's really cool. And they're doing some clever stuff with the lore as well in quests from time to time, which has you like travel between different ages or eras, I should say, in order to solve the quest. For example, there's one quest where you need to get like a key to a temple, and you have to get it from like a past era because it's only over there that the key still exists. And then you have to travel to another era and then use the key on a door, which otherwise is not capable of getting, you're not capable of getting it open. So yeah, it's cool, I think.
That is too much.
I did see the notification for your super chat on screen though. Yeah, it was definitely there.
That is too much.
Oh, I'm really like overburdened. The time travel concept I like, but the game's very enjoyable. Oh, your time travel concept you don't like, but the game's very enjoyable. Yeah, it's not for everyone, I suppose. Strange, anyways. Yeah. We're gonna go for the necrotic stuff. And what's the plan over here? This one, the increased range and the hunger thing. Yeah, and the additional chances to cast it when hit. Like, that seems good. And this is a 6% chance, by the way. Let's do that. I'm sure we're getting there. Okay. Also, a relatively viable tactic, by the way, is like a little bit from like the entire massive amounts of enemies, and then oh, here's the Beast King. This is
That is too much.
it's a great weapon for if you are a Beastmaster. But then not a Beastmaster like me, but a Beastmaster that is actually attacking people. Then you're good with a weapon like that. It's really interesting. Did I already get the portal? I don't think so. I think I still need to find the portal. But I definitely need a portal because I got so much stuff I really need to sell. This Lich is helping me out a lot as well here. Anyways, no worries, guys. Yeah, it's all good, right? Just trust us. The thing was actually there. Wow, another the slab. I do think that there are not, by the way, an insane amount of unique items. I keep finding relatively often the same ones. But still, let's pick them up and see. Okay, let's go into the Lotus Halls. Ah, nice. Ah, there we go. Nice, 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 nice. So we're almost at the end of this era. We are going back to the council chamber. And let's have a quick look if we want to maybe upgrade our weapons one way or another, because I feel that we can. Just for like, just damage wise, right? Let's get rid of the FPS. What? Now it's yellow. Oh, it has all colors, but I just want it gone basically. Can I already use this one? No, I can use this one, the hammer. But I'm not sure. Is there any trading between players? I am not sure, to be perfectly honest. Okay, cold protection. This seems pretty good. Snowblind for a helmet. There's another Beastmaster. Here's another slab. I don't know if there's any trading. I don't really think so. This is level 41, this is level 24. The humming bee is what I was using. This is level 30. So I don't really have a weapon unless I go with this like hammer. And this hammer scales up with levels. Well, we can give it a go. Massive hammer. Otherwise, we maybe maybe we'll just keep like something in the back of our backpacks just to see if we can do something with it. So I think what I want is necrotic damage, ideally, or some protective stuff. That would also probably be good. So this is poison, stun chance, cold damage, poison. Yeah, here's another humming bee. Like, there's so many humming bee weapons. I found 3 already. What's the use of gold in the game? Yeah, maybe respecking. Let me check that for you. Because that was a question that you had as well, right? Elemental damage, cast speed, achievement intelligence, elemental protection. So this is cold damage, chill on it, stun chance, 13 melee damage. Fire damage, void damage. Chance to ignite. This is minion health, chance to chill attackers. Yeah, I think we can keep this as a backup, these two. Just to figure out like if we're doing anything wrong in that sense. Why don't I have like a book? Let's just buy this one for now. Buy it? How do I purchase it? How do I purchase it? Okay, shift right mouse. Okay. Fine. Okay, it's still pretty fast, this thing. Weapon looks pretty cool. I think with gold I can do this, right? So you may undo your last 1, 5 or 20 allocations to your passive tree at the cost of 25, 375 or 5,250 gold. And it gets more expensive. So that's one use of gold. You have the trader over here, which also sells sometimes really good stuff. And it also sells runes of shattering, which means that you can... These are used for crafting and stuff. And I think F is for crafting. Yeah, and here's the crafting menu. So crafting in this game, I can do a little bit of crafting. For example, on these boots, right? So crafting works with prefixes and suffixes. You can have 2 prefixes and 2 suffixes per item. And you can basically put anything on there as long as it is of the right type. So if I say, well, you know, I want more, I don't know, attunement. I can modify it, forge it, and then I have a 100% chance for success. You can't read this because my camera is in the way, but you'll have to believe it, I suppose. And it will add instability. So I can forge it. It's the purple button below my camera. And then, so, first of all, it turns into a yellow weapon because it gets more stuff. And now I added a tier 1 attunement, enchantment, if you will, to my boots. But it also becomes more unstable, these boots. And at some point they break, and then you can't do anything with them anymore. So if I say, well, you know, I want a suffix void protection, I have a 95% chance for success, 5% chance for minor fracture, and it will add more instability. So far so good. And now I can increase the statistics on here that are already there. So I can add more vitality, 85% chance, 15% chance for minor fracture, and it will add more instability. And the more unstable this thing is, the higher the chance that it breaks. And once it breaks, I think I can still use it, but I can't craft with it anymore. So, but this doesn't cost any gold. It just cost me my crafting materials, of which I have 57 apparently. So, see, now it's fractured. See, item fractured. And I think, yeah, it's now blocked. Now I can't craft anymore because it's fractured. So you can still use it, but it's fractured, which means I can't craft with it anymore. But can you repair the item if they break? I don't think so, to be honest. Maybe there's like a way, but I haven't figured it out, to be honest. But I haven't done much crafting either, so if I read the forums correctly, I don't think there's a way to do this, to be honest. Let me just get another quick drink, and then we're all good. But this time it's a beer. No, so I don't think you can repair them. I think you can also use other items that have them break less quickly. But it's a little bit of a gamble, crafting, which is, you know... okay, so you just can't craft anymore, so basically you just hope to roll as much as an item as you can until it breaks. Yes, I think that is the... I think that is sort of the point, yeah. Mark for death. Okay, so that port is maxed out. Okay, so it actually does now 300 damage. That's not bad, eh? We're like one-shotting again with this new weapon. They're going after the tree. Cheers. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, so I lost the shield, which was of course some additional protection, but you know, this seems to go pretty well. Yeah, this was definitely one of the smaller upgrades that I needed, I feel. And the nice thing about this weapon is that it scales a little bit with your level. The higher your level, the stronger this item is. So it's like always to some extent a viable weapon, which is kind of nice. I'm really one-shotting these guys again. That feels good. Not these guys, because they're a lot bigger, but, you know. Still not bad at all. Hey guys, I got to go. Yeah, man. Oh. Yeah, thanks so much for dropping by. It was fun to have you. Once again, thanks. And I'll see you soon, man. I'll probably stream somewhere along the weekend or like on a Friday night. But whenever I stream on the YouTube, I'm just gonna also put some additional info on the Twitch, so people just know that you can find me here. But I'll probably create like events, like tonight, right? You could have seen the event of the stream. And then you can just basically join the stream then. So there will be like a small event planned up front, just like today. Now you can see when it is. But next stream probably in 2 days. I think the Friday I'll be streaming. But I'll just make sure to create an event and then you know. I like the sound of the I like the sound of the weapon. Oh. This guy hurts a lot actually. That tree is pretty useful, because it taunts them. I think at some point I will also have to replace my rings though. Something that also works really well is the health leech, like the spell vamp, basically. I'm getting a lot of health back from that stuff. Ah, that's good stuff. There we go. Ah, yeah, this is the boss. Might be to some extent tough, but we'll see. What about the wandering spirits? Yeah. This is these guys. Yeah, it's not bad. But I might be better off with the skeletons for now. I'm not totally sure. Okay, these are the hungering souls, so we're getting into that right when we are hit. Bigger chance when we're hit. And then here, spectral whetstone. 3% critical chance per allocated point, so we're going for 9% crit, and then we're going for like a massive bonus over there. And then the whole thing should do like a significant amount of damage. So it's the boss. See, like whenever I hit them, it does a lot of damage. And we can do these little, whatever they are, these little spirits. Now whenever they're on him, they damage him.
All that is left is to combine the shards. I can feel the power surrounding them.
The voice acting is not that good, by the way. Spellvamp is just so good as a stat to have. I can't remember a single game where Spellvamp was bad. Yeah. No, for sure. We're going for more increased necrotic damage. And this is the... this is like the shard, so this is how you travel through time. And it looks apparently like this.
What is this place? Where have I been taken now?
What is this place? Where have I been taken now? Well, it clearly states that is the end of time. This is basically your central hub. The end of time.
There, traveler, speak with me when you can. This is the end of time. Where the remain, this place is peaceful, but there is no future here.
And from here, this is a little bit like the Pantheon, right? And from here, you go back into other eras and solve some stuff. So now we're going back to the Imperial era. I think the Ruined era is pretty much done by now. We're not gonna see like a massive amount of those purple monsters anymore, which is kind of nice, I feel. Instead, we're getting yeah, a bit more of a colorful world. Well, not sure how colorful this is actually, but fine. Still rather bleak, huh? See you guys, peace, yeah man, see you around, thanks for joining, and catch you in the next one. Accept. So there's our portal. I think we can just shop, increase minion damage, melee damage. Yeah, let's just sell these. The hammer seems to work pretty well. Also, the reach of the hammer is pretty. Seems. I really like the style of this game with the graphic update. I can't imagine the game will look super nice. Yes, I think so too. And they have shared some images on the graphics update, but I'm also gonna do like I'm gonna do a video on it because honestly, the more I play this game, the more like impressed I am with the whole thing. This is, by the way, where you learn how to craft. Yeah, and the game is also optimized better and better, but you have like a... I mean, I've seen your specs in a bug report, Uber Shaloof, and your PC is like a monster. It's a better PC than I have. And this PC is already pretty good. So, you should have no issues running this, basically. But before, on my previous computer, which had a 1060 graphics card, it actually didn't run all that well. And you don't really expect a game like this to be like taxing on your graphics card, but it was. And on the CPU as well. They really did a good job optimizing this game a lot more than they used to, because it was a bit of a mess, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not gonna be bothered by like killing every single individual enemy anymore. I'm once again strong enough with the... Yeah, with this thing, right? So, with my hammer, let's say. So it's all good. Yeah, I better have no problems with this. Yeah, but like, to be honest, especially early access games, optimization can be really poor. I had some horrible performances from time and time in Pagan Online, for example. Like really bad. And my my fan and GPU and everything was just like, it was out of control basically. And I was like, what the hell is going on here, guys? Like, I mean, it's a nice looking game, don't get me wrong, but should it really consume like 60% of my CPU right now? I don't think so. That also got better over time. But it's something I mentioned in, I think, earlier videos, that that was kind of a problem for me, that the way it ran. And also this, like, it doesn't run 60% or like 60 FPS smoothly, eh? Which, you know, given my system and everything, it should. Really? Where are you guys going? Are they all going to that tree? I think so. The taunt range of that tree is insane. Okay, so we're just following the arrows. We're just like basically rushing through this storyline, and I think about level 35 or something we will reach the end game, and then we can see how well this build is going to work for us. In the meantime, we're gonna just level up these skills. So what's next here? Was it the protection? No. Right, it was the increased area. I think I wanted to do that, right? And then the mana efficiency, or we're going with like chilling them, which might be good as well. Because I don't need curse duration, to be honest. No, we don't need an increased duration of that skill. I mean, that's not a problem at all. Oh, hello. Yeah, these are nasty guys. And then they explode. Yeah. They're all running towards my tree. Like, holy moly. What the hell was that? That was insane. That damage. Yeah, my protection and my armor and things like that are relatively horrible. See? So, yeah. This might become a bit of an issue in a level or 5 where I just keep getting one shot. That could definitely happen. Now see, this is a place that we've also been before already. But now it's just a different era. And it looks different. It looks more, well, Imperial, I suppose, with all the stones and stuff like that. But it's definitely the same place, right? Which I think is kind of nice. Especially if you look a little bit more into lore and things. Let's get, because this is one of the few places that you're actually getting back to. So let's make sure we get the portal. He's about to explode, but we can prevent that. Okay, yeah, that's the portal. Let's see. I'm smashing the crates because the crates, for some reason, have a really high chance of uniques. Spell Vamp is still good here. I mean, it's helping out a lot. Yeah. I really need to be like a little bit careful for these kind of groups because they can hurt an awful lot. I was almost dead there. Especially if you're stationary. And like these hounds are dropping all these bombs on you. That's really not what you want to be. The Soul Warden's Road. And there's another quest. Holy hell, what happened over there? Well, something is wrong there, that's for sure. So I need to go to the Great College, but I also need to go over there. Well, we could just take the other road back if we need to be, so that's fine. Yeah, let's just not open the quests. I don't think it's that necessary. Here's the Lich thing. Soul Feast unlocked. Soul Feast. Feast on the souls of all enemies marked for death, dealing correct damage to them and drawing a fragment of each of their souls back to you. The soul fragments each grant 5 ward when they reach you. Okay. Could be a nice combination to like start off with before you enter the battle. Are we gonna do with the soul barrier? Yeah, maybe. Or we're gonna go for more health and more spell damage leached. Seems like a pretty solid choice as well. I mean, the ward thing is good. I don't really feel we need like a ton more damage. I think we should start thinking about some like ways to get some more health or survive a bit better. So I think I'll complete at least these 8 points in total. And are we going to see if that Soul Feast is any good? We can try. So it would be that. Is that what just happened? So I marked him for death and I do Soul Feast. Yeah. It gives me the... It gives me a bit of ward, which is good. I mean, that's just a nice way of getting some additional armor, basically. It's like an energy shield in Path of Exile. Yeah, and that's the other ability that's now a passive ability, which I feel is definitely working out well. Yeah, the attack is a little slow, but I'm pretty convinced that this combination will work in the end. Now at level 25, you know, it's still good. Let's see what happens relatively soon over here. Right, more crit chance, please. And these are the soul thingies. Yeah, we're gonna go for more passive chance to cast the Hungering Souls when hit. Yeah. For another additional 12%. So we should see relatively soon a lot of these souls coming out. For some reason I'm poisoning them as well, or I'm at least doing like some form of damage over time. I think I saw the tree again. Yeah, so I'm really not gonna kill each and every enemy over here. It's just gonna take way too long. It's hardly any efficient either. So we're gonna get out of this place for now, find this library, which is over here, and complete the side quest, because this is a side quest. And then get this part over with, I'm pretty sure, huh? They're all going to that tree. That tree is a very decent defense mechanism here. Actually. Nothing wrong with it. Yeah, and that... If you don't take care of these guys and they keep bombarding you, that is extremely lethal. Our skills are like ramping up as well. I really like the way that you progress in this game. Like, it's never a dull moment, really. Here, that's the passive skulls over there. They work pretty well. Okay, this is the library. Unlock the door. There we go. So, what do we have now? Yeah, another chance, and this is that one. Mark for death, increased area. Yeah, so oh yeah, so this is the quest where you need to like get into another era to solve it. So we're gonna go to the... Actually, we're gonna go back to the town, I suppose. The end of time. And then we need to go to the... Because here's the Great College. I think in the Ruined Era it is a similar thing. Yeah, the Ruined College, right? So we go to the Ruins of Welrin. And it's not the Great College anymore, now it's the Ruined College. Yeah, see, but now your quest is over here. Now you can complete your quest over here. I think that's a... You know, like a cute little change of pace, let's say. Also, it seems that I haven't done this quest either, which is a quest in this cave. So we might as well do that as well. I think you get another skill point, so it's probably worth doing. And we can, I suppose, rush through this almost. Tons of damage. Level 27 as well. Yeah. What do I need to do? Except I know what I need to do. I need to disable, I think, like a few skeleton mounts or something. Like those little... Yeah, these things, see? Okay, 2 more. And then the guy's free. Don't ask me how that works, but that's apparently the quest. Oh. Everybody's walking towards the tree again. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting towards our quest objective. Relatively fast, I may add. Like, they're all coming after me, but we're speedrunning this a little bit. Take the yellow stuff. Yellow stuff's pretty good. 1 more. There we go. Yeah, there it is. This can go. Yeah, now I just need to get back to that skeleton dude. We're picking up some gold in the meantime. I think some people still died here from like the dots that we're doing on these guys. Yeah, passive point. And loot. Like, this is also sometimes not to be underestimated. It's not bad, especially for crafting. We are going with our survival of the cruel, 40 health, 4% spell damage or spell vamp. Yeah, we'll figure out next time what else we will be investing our points in. We're really walking around with this like massive hammer. I'm assuming also, by the way, that there is, let's say, a decent unique weapon that does a ton of necrotic damage. I'm not sure that's the case, but I'm just assuming. For a build like this, it would make sense, right? So here we are again in the Great College. And now the door is open, or it should be. And we can actually find what we're looking for. I kind of like this area too. Like it's the ruined era, so it's completely overrun by these purple dudes. But regardless, I think they did a good job in this like ruined era with like making the place look really horrible. Okay, that's it. We got the officer's quest, and then I think we need to go back to the Imperial era. Also like that you can just, by the way, use any portal that's available to you without, you know, using down portal scrolls or something. Because those things just make so little sense to me in these action RPGs. Like, just why make it so hard, right? Down portal scrolls. I'm fine without down portal scrolls, guys. I don't need them. That's a big boy. There we go. There's definitely a significant amount of like damage over time going on here. Ouch. Which is not bad at all. Okay. So here we are in the temple again, but now in the correct era. We looted this officer's chest item and we should be able with that to open the door. Here, there we go. They do so much damage. Oh, yo, 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 yo. I think I have some items to actually lessen the damage a bit. I think a bit of love for the enemy models would be nice if they do the graphs up that and maybe put in some more different enemies. Yeah. Yeah, it does look that you kill more or less the same enemies all the time. I agree. Yeah, that is, I think, a relatively common complaint that you hear. So. It's true, like you're killing skeletons, you're killing spiders, you're killing like the purple guys. And there's not an awful lot of variety in that. Now you do get later into, let's say, definitely some, I'm not sure what happened with my quest log, but this is like a total mess now. It was meant to get back, yeah. I have a journal. Oh wait a minute. I have a journal too. Study in time. Yeah, the Outlast camp. And this is the Outcast in Lake Lyeth. Okay. So we're gonna go over there. We'll return to the Outlast camp at some point. Especially if we are like full of items. No, but it's a fair criticism. I totally agree with that. And at some point the worlds are relatively bland looking too, so that gets a bit boring as well. Increased dots, soul barrier, additional wards. I think that soul barrier is not a bad idea, to be honest. At all, but also I value other things more in an early access game. Yeah, I think polishing the game and it look nice is something you do at the end. First, the game has to work. I totally agree, and they did a good job in that sense. Like, this game works very well. And I think the core mechanics of this game are really solid. And I really appreciate the fact that they, for example, already have an end game. I think that is a testament to how their design philosophy is and what they want to do and everything. And to have a nice diversity in spells and items, yeah. Yeah, and I think what's nice about that is that it's that they continuously add a bunch of different spells again as well. Which is kind of nice because, you know, whenever you have a new spell or a new skill that you can do the skill tree of, it makes sense to just go back to the game and try it out, right? Because now suddenly for example, the next update, they're gonna increase the amount of skeleton spells that you have. So you can summon different skeletons, you can summon more skeletons yourself. And it is basically a small rework of a class, simply because you're providing another skill tree upgrade, which I think is great. And you can just go back, either respec a character that you already have, or just play a new one, right? Like I'm doing right now. Because as you can see, leveling is quite fast. And you probably have some stuff in the bank already. So you can just like slap some items on a new character and start leveling up. So we need to defend her. You really need to watch out with like those bomber guys. Like they mess you a lot. Especially as a more like a melee character. Before you get to them, you can be in like some serious trouble. But we're still doing pretty fine, I feel. Passive point, great. Always smash everything, because there's a ton of good items to be found in these boxes. Yeah, let's do more barrier. Oh, skill unlock, aura of decay. Instead of the soul feast, maybe? I think so. What's this aura? Cost 0. Toggles aura of decay, which poisons you every second. And leaves a trail of decay. Enemies near you or in the trail are poisoned 3 times a second. You take 50% less poison damage while it is active. Huh. Okay, it does some damage, but not like an insane amount of damage. Well, okay, slowly but surely I'm actually dying. But I have my spell vamp. Well, I can toggle it if need be, right? Because if I can use the spell vamp, we're all good. I'm not totally sure about this though. Because I'm still taking a ton of damage. That poison is like... It's, yeah. It's a significant amount of poison that we just got there. I think we're moving towards the yellow arrow, but I'm not totally sure. Well, you can turn it on every now and then. You know, when you're like surrounded by a bunch of enemies. Then it's not too bad. Oh. But my spell vamp is apparently not enough to sustain myself while I have the aura up. I was hoping that it would maybe be more, but it's not. It does work pretty well with my other skills though, an aura like that. But it should, you know, it should be sustainable. And I don't think currently it is. Like it is a lot of damage. That's one thing that's for sure. Yeah, but I'm actually slowly dying. I can sustain myself with health potions with this. As long as I find enough of them. Oh! You've been slain by a death screech from an Avalanche Chimera. I think you... wait a minute. And I think it can be better in some stages of the game. Maybe somewhere with a lot of poison enemies. Yeah, just for poison resist. Yeah. True. But that hurt a lot. Okay. So... the cooldown on the effect of soul barriers reduced by 10% per allocated point. Okay, so that's the... yeah, that's the soul barrier thing. Bed of Souls, increased health regen, lasting stench, increased poison damage, and duration. Reaper. Yeah, I know, man. I think we're gonna actually keep increasing the soul barrier here. Maybe some HP helps out. Yeah, but I don't really have that many... like, there's no HP things. Right? There's no health or anything. So the ward is the closest thing that I have over here. This is 40 health. So I can get HP on some gear. I feel like 300 is not that much. If you see you crit for over 1k, no, it's not that much. No, it is not that much. Okay, where are we going with this? We can call forth fewer souls and they deal increased damage. I'm not gonna be controlling a minion, so that's not really gonna work. You deal 10% decreased damage over time per allocated point for 5 seconds when you cast Hungering Souls. 20% chance per allocated point to call for 6 additional souls. No effect if you have the isolation node. Yeah, this is the isolation node. I'm not sure if I want like a giant single soul. Because I don't feel I need mana, to be honest. Maybe the increased poison damage is pretty good. Right? I have how many more points? 10 more points to spend here. Can you craft HP on your gear? Yeah, you can. Yeah, it might be a pretty good idea. I think the additional souls here are pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. I think we can just like create a shit ton of souls if we want to, which, you know, seems to be a good idea. And I think we want base necrotic damage actually here as well. So let's first fill that up and then see how many of these additional souls we want to get, because I feel we can get like tons of them. Because everything scales with my abilities as well, with the amount of intelligence and stuff and the necrotic damage buffs that we have. Oh. I thought that was actually something. This is the guy that killed me. Holy hell. Uses Death Screech. But I think Death Screech is just like what you think it is. Like, it's like instant death almost. I got 300 health. Yeah, it's not that much, I suppose. But for most enemies, it's like sort of fine. It seems. But not for that guy. Yeah, but definitely survivability is gonna be a thing. Especially in the endgame missions, because yeah, they're it's a whole different story. Okay. But to be honest, like, most of these enemies aren't like that. See here, I can just easily sustain. It's not a problem at all. And I think pretty soon we're just gonna have a look into the stash, because we keep leveling up at a very steady pace, I feel. And oh. I'm sure I got some items lying around that are actually going to be useful for me. I can remember a set item that has like necrotic stuff on it, which was one of the reasons I started this build to begin with, to be honest. So that should be in the chest somewhere. Here, see how many souls? Yeah, I think like every now and then you're just encountering one of those enemies that like insta-give you, but for most of the time, you know, we're doing well, I feel. And it is not a problem at all. Yeah, we'll see what happens later down the line, to be honest. Okay. Can you show me the crafting item, please? I'm not sure about the crafting item, but this is the crafting menu. But you can't craft uniques. You can only craft like yellow items and make them better. So yeah, there's that. But these are things, for example, that I really want to have, right? So instead of the dodge rating and armor, because this isn't that good anymore, I should try and get something like this. Vitality, chance to find potions is okay. Necrotic protection, fire protection, just some protection, right? Because here are my defenses, like lightning is basically 0, and the others are sort of okay, I suppose. So there are definitely a few things that you want to swap out at some point. This has got some poison protection. An amulet with health on it. Suppose we'll do that. I mean the mats. Ah, yeah, these are the mats, right? You have vitality, which just doesn't give you life. I think it gives you protection against certain elements. You have health too. Here, I got tons of it. Elemental protection is a good one because it protects you against all elements. Here's poison protection and health and stun avoidance and dodge instead of, you know, minion armor, which I really don't need. And the tree is sort of good, but like, you know, let's get some defenses going here. What else do we have? You also have percentage increases in health, by the way. But I don't think... Okay, well, there's a lot. There's a lot of items, see? Health on kill. Health on melee hit. Hybrid health leech. It's yeah, you can go crazy if you want to. And here's some cold protection if we want it instead of the... Oh, this has also got cold protection, so that's pretty good, right? The snow... This has got some cold protection on it, it's pretty good. But my weapon doesn't have any protection on it. The belt is mainly damage. Ah, okay, thanks. I was confused by all the text. A long list on the crafting unit, but just for the gear you can use it for... Yeah. So here, for example, we can like swap some... But I don't want a health, like I only have 9 of them apparently for health. We can put some void protection on here, right? Another void protection. And we can put some lightning protection because I don't have too much of it. See? Now this isn't a great item, but you know. Tier 2. Lightning protection, tier 2. Void protection. We're still not fracturing it, which is amazing. Okay, there it goes. Item fracture. That's okay. Ah, this was already fractured. Ah, this doesn't have anything on it, but let's find an actual decent item and then do it like that, right? So we can increase the necrotic protection a bit more on this thing, right? And the vitality, probably another necrotic, fire. So far so good. Oh, requires level 33 to forge. So it's that should definitely help. We're also gonna keep up with this barrier thing. And because that just seems like a good deal. Here we have increased area. I think them being chilled seems like a good thing. That looks super nice, to be honest. Also, you get a lot more mats, which is nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think the crafting is also just like fun. It's basic, you know, it's relatively basic, but seems to work pretty well. Here's a chest. And it's always good to just pick up those materials as well. You never know when you need them. And I think, but you can't change the prefix or suffix. No, I think you'll have to stick to the prefix and suffix things. In that sense, yeah. I don't think there's much changing in that. Well, I think you can clean an item of... Oh, there's the death screech again, isn't it? Yeah. That's some crazy stuff, man. You can do these kind of things here. Glyph of stability. Yeah, so you can use items, glyphs of stability, to make your items more stable and your crafts more stable so they last longer. Things like that. Now I'm just basically slamming on a bunch of enchantments and hoping that it works out without really any plan whatsoever. But you can definitely get a bit more into it, and it's definitely a bit deeper than what I'm showing here, but this is like the basics. Yeah, looks fun. I can't imagine having a really nice item for endgame set and crafted, and after 5 forges it's still not broken. Every forge gets more intense. Yeah. Yeah, and then you have these glyphs of stability, which actually don't make them like fractured and stuff like that. Which is good, you know. But I also really like it in this game that you see a significant improvement in your character, right? Within a noticeable amount of time. So leveling is fun. I don't think this game is like grindy or repetitive at all. I mean, the enemies are repetitive to some extent. I definitely agree with that. But I can easily just run through this story, let's say. I have no issues with it whatsoever. And this is I've done this now quite a few times. I think it's pretty fun. Because you just get your skills up, your levels up, you find a unique item and it might be good for you. It's nice. A good like balanced way of moving through the game. Yeah, let's just grab the waypoint over here and... Yeah, it's the Death Screech guy again. I don't really like that guy. Here. But this is also the case. Like, you don't always need to... 3.5k port champ, yeah. You can do a lot of damage. Level 31. You can also see that my souls are starting to do some work here. This Chimera dude though. Like, not gonna lie. There's one annoying enemy. This is Piano Mania. Piano Mania, piano. Could be my dad for all I know. How are you? I'm fine, man. How are you? I can vaguely remember that this is actually the username of my dad on YouTube, but I'm not totally sure. There's no way they will find me on Twitch because they just don't know how that works. But YouTube, it's a whole story. We'll see though. But if you are, welcome. Huh? It's fine with me. Alright, let's level up. We're gonna put more points in the soul barrier. We are going to increase this stuff to... Yeah, exactly. Nice. Symbol of loss. There we go. Oh, where's the other one? Here. Right. More necrotic damage. Okay, we're just gonna go to the top of the ship. Here we have to fight a boss and then... What? Oh, yeah. No. Let's not die to this guy. And then we just need to basically get the hell out of here because it's been long enough on this boat. Yeah, I should just kill this guy, I suppose. Okay. Yeah, it's just one more boss left, and then afterwards, I'm gonna be stopping the stream as well. It is midnight over here, and I got one more day of work. Let's try and avoid that one. Yeah, thanks, you too. Picking up the amulet, and we're almost there. Oh, another chimera. Like, these guys are really tricky. Casual 3800 crit. Okay, we're getting there though. It's over here. There's this sort of like skeleton pirate. Here, this guy. He does lightning damage to which we have basically zero resistance. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot harder than I thought. Because it's lightning resistance, so he does a ton of lightning damage and I have no resistances against that whatsoever. So I think if I stay in one of those circles, I'm probably dead, or like pretty close to dead. With skeletons, to be honest, this is a lot easier. Ghosts, yeah. Okay. But made it regardless. Pretty good. Let's upgrade these the final time. I'm not sure about this increased chill and fear duration, to be honest. I'm not convinced about this whole chill thing at all. And I don't want them to be feared, right? Do I care about mana efficiency? I don't think so. Do I care about armor? Poison protection? Might be good in combination with the Aura of Decay. Curse duration. Yeah, the Bone Prison. It's not gonna do much. I think I'll take the area. Or am I? The poison protection is not bad, I feel. Especially if we can manage to like get this aura of decay going. No, I also don't think the chill is worth it. I agree. So that's just a wasted point, but that's okay. I think a 30% increase is fine. I don't think it needs to be a 50% increase. Like the area of this effect is big enough as it is, right? So maybe we should just put these points into that. I mean, I can reduce their armor. I don't really see the point because I'm hardly doing physical damage. The curse duration is nice, but recasting is not a problem. Mana efficiency is also not a problem. I'm never running out of mana. I think the poison is pretty good. And then these souls, where are these going? I think additional souls, right? Yeah, I think we're gonna go with a bunch of additional souls. And then also here, more additional souls. It seems just like fun. Okay, we need to jump like overboard here. And then you go into a new area, which is a beach area.
I am not.
Beach sort of desert kind of thing. I think more wards. Right, below half health you gain 45 ward. So let's do additional ward over here. And we should go back to the outcast camp. Yeah, because I still got a quest over there. And then that'll probably be the end of the stream. I still got this quest, otherwise I simply forget that I still have an open quest here. And there's a good chance that this gives me maybe a skill point, I don't know. Could be. First things first, beach party, yeah exactly, yeah here, another passive skill point, so that's nice. We're gonna keep doing the soul barrier thing, I'm pretty sure. Seems like a reasonable defense mechanism. Yeah, and here you have water tension and additional mana per allocated point. Like the water tension should be good. And spell damage and intelligence, yeah, I don't think that's necessary. I don't think it's necessary. I think we should really focus on this whole ward business. And try and get like as many forms of protection as we can. All right, let's just sell our stuff. Stash the materials, lightning protection. Instead of 21 health, 33 lightning protection. Doesn't seem like a bad deal. These values are like getting there, right? We just need some cold and lightning protection. 1 vitality, damage over time, stun avoidance, 15 health, mana efficiency. Yeah, I think all these chapters and things, I'm just afraid that they don't do enough damage for me. I think going with the two-handers is definitely the way to go. This has got 73 cold protection, but I already have like 80 cold protection from that thing, so I think all the one-handers we're just not interested in. Okay, let's stash. Where's the stash over here? Not sure what this white icon is about. There's no stash. There has to be a stash, right? This is the white icon? Is this a bug or something? No, I don't see it. Otherwise I'll just go to the end of time. I'll find it over there. Probably will. Here. Let's get over here. And have a quick look at our stash. Yeah, there it is. So this can go back in here, but we have these two items that we can now use. Yeah, they're set items and they're very good for my build, I think. So this we have, it's armor, it's got potion slots, increased cast speed, increased health regen, and the two-part set is 80% increased necrotic damage if you've been hit recently. Now I'm being constantly hit, right? So that just seems like a good item, and then we combine it with our grave chill. Grave chill gloves. Armor, increased cast speed, cold damage for spells and attacks, 100% to chill with necrotic abilities if you've killed an enemy in the last 5 seconds. So let's just test out how that works, but not this time. We'll do that next time. But this is something that basically made me start the whole necrotic build. My lightning damage is a bit messed up and the void protection as well, but that's okay-ish. But you can't with no, you can't craft with the set items. No. And we could say that maybe we're going for this, for the Titan Heart. It gives me 30% increased health, but I don't regenerate health, but that's okay because I got the spell vamp. That might be okay. We can try it. Oh. We can try it if we're level 41. What else? 30 armor, 80% increased void and necrotic damage. And it protects me to some extent as well. So I think we'll swap that out as well. And then what else do we have left? Melee damage, fire damage. No, that's not good. We got this at level 40. Which just seems to be good. We can use this as well now, the Rainbow Edge. Lightning damage, fire damage, cold damage. And a lot of shock, ignite and chill. I'm just not sure if it's worth going like with a shield and stuff. We get block protection, we gain the soul charges. You know. Maybe we can try it. So we'll take this weapon and we will take that shield. And then just see how it goes. My cold damage, my cold resistance is like 0 by now. That could be a problem, but yeah. And we leech another percentage as health. Yeah, let's just do that, I suppose. Does that work? I'm not even sure if that works. I don't think it will, actually. Okay. I think that's going to be the thing for next time. Can you wear 2 one-hand weapons? I'm not sure. I don't think so. This just swaps it? No. I can't. Not with this class. I think there might be another class where you can do it. But not with this one, it seems. Well, that's okay. Alright. yeah, that's it. All right. Hey guys, for everybody still watching, or if you're watching the VOD, which I will probably just upload on YouTube and come up with a nice thumbnail and see if people actually enjoy watching this as a VOD. Thanks so much for watching. I had a really good time actually being back on the YouTube stream. And it was good to have some people check it out. And what I will do for sure is update the Twitch so that everybody knows that we're streaming on YouTube again. So thanks, especially you, Uber Shalulf, and some of the other people that were watching, if you're still there. It was good to see you guys around. Thanks also for the small donations. That was really, really awesome. Alessandro, Sergio, and who else did we have over here? Sinful Duck, Jump in, Captain Gangplank. Thanks so much, guys, for being here. It was good to see you. And I think Friday we'll do another. I'll create the stream up front so you can see it on the YouTube channel. And it will be around 8 p.m. most likely, 8 p.m., 8:30. For now, it's really bedtime. I got one more day of work, and then afterwards, the weekend. Or pretty much the weekend. So we'll see, guys. Thanks for now. And you think you'll play a bit tomorrow? Looks like fun. Yeah, you should. I'm really enjoying this game. And you can also expect a few videos on this relatively soon, I feel. So thanks for now, and I'll check you guys soon. Bye bye.